I suppose we are live again. Hooray. Alright everyone, hi. Welcome back to some more Doki Doki Blue Skies. The potentially, it's the potentially final stream. Can't say for certain yet, but I think we're getting close to the end. After all, the previous stream started at the beginning of Act 3, which is the final part of the game, and I think we made quite a bit of progress. So, again, I can't confirm this is gonna be the final stream of this game. There might be one more after, but it definitely won't take too long until we're finished. But that's neither here nor there. What matters right now is actually, well, trying to move forward here. So, before I know it, the weekend has already arrived. It's been a few days since Sayori agreed to try therapy. Alright, so we're making progress. With a slight nudge from me, she spoke to her doctor, who managed to arrange for her first therapy session tomorrow. As relieved as I am with such a speedy response, I am still fairly apprehensive. Seeing how pervasive her condition is, interfering with her ability to get homework done, twisting her self-perception, it's been daunting, I can't lie. I guess just seeing how serious depression is has been a shock to my system. A part of me does worry that somehow me getting involved is actually a bad thing. Perhaps I'm somehow making it more complicated. Do I really know what I'm getting into here? You don't know. Because you're not an expert. No, Code, don't listen to that silly irrational side. Let's look at the positives. She agreed to get some help, so this is the first step to recovery. Yeah, that's true. Plus, I'm going with her, so at least we're making this first step together, right? It should be fine. Being a chronic over-warrior truly is a curse. Being with Sayori makes me happy. It's best to focus on that and stop worrying about what could go wrong. Because if I constantly focus on the negatives, well, that's no good for anyone. And that's how depression works, by the way. You just focus on the negatives. And you have that voice always telling you that it's not worth it, just like Sayori has described it. So yeah, main character has it, everyone has that voice. The main thing is whether or not you're able to ignore it. Or overpower it. Stay positive. Optimistic outlook, Code. Optimistic outlook. After completing my morning routine, I find myself sitting at my kitchen, aimlessly wondering about how to spend the day. One of the drawbacks of your first relationships is that you don't really know what you're meant to do with your partner. It's too cold to spend much time outdoors, so we're limited to the indoors. I check my watch. 10:14 AM, pretty early, so you wouldn't even be awake yet. My gaze idly settles on the used plates in front of me. An idea hits me. Oh, Sayori would love this. What? About half an hour later, my work is done and carefully placed into a bag. What happened? What did we make? I make the trip over to her room, hoping that she's still asleep. As I was hoping, she's fast asleep. No surprise, given it's not even 11 yet. As I approach her, I'm struck by how cute she looks when she's sleeping. Is she gonna be talking in her sleep again? Wait, that didn't sound super creepy, did it? Maybe a little bit. But you're in an official relationship, so I guess it's not that bad. I mentally chastise myself. Stop being so weird, Code. But the way she's curled up into a ball, even with her hair being a mess, and a slight trickle of drool leaking from her mouth, she's perfect. I don't think there's any way that this girl could ever look anything less than beautiful. The light sounds of her snoring turn my light smile into a heartfelt grin. Settling down my bag, I quietly walk over to her and gently brush a lock of hair that's fallen into her open mouth. She stirs slightly as my hand brushes against her forehead. Wakey wakey, sleepyhead. 5 more minutes. I made you breakfast. She groggily sits up and rubs her eyes, hugging the blanket closer to her. You didn't have to, Code. Can't help but feel disappointed and slightly irritated by her reaction. Was looking forward to seeing how exuberant she'd be. What time is it? Like 11? Yawning, she pushes the covers off and sits up. She still looks quite tired. She gingerly opens the bag and forces a smile onto her face. You can thank your Dear Sunshine poem for inspiration, especially that last line. God, I'm so selfish. I have such a thoughtful boyfriend who's been super considerate and made me breakfast in bed, and I can't even thank you properly. You went through all this just for me. Anyone else would be really appreciative, and yet here I am complaining that you're here. Huh? No, it's not like that at all. Also, did you really complain? You just said I didn't have to. That didn't really sound like a complaint. I mean, yeah, I was hoping you'd be a little bit happier to see me, but, well, it's kinda on me for forgetting how difficult mornings can be for you. Don't worry about it. I can tell that my words haven't convinced her in the slightest. And I don't get the feeling that you don't want me here. Relax. She slowly starts chewing on the food. This is really good. It's pretty basic stuff, to be honest. But I'm glad you like it. Natsuki's cooking has nothing on me as far as you can see. How is it that you can make me laugh even when it's the last thing I want to do? Magic, I think? Maybe I was a comedian in my past life. It's a question that science has been trying to answer for the past 100 or so years. By the way, can we just have a lazy day today? I don't really feel like going outside or anything. Fine by me. After she finishes eating, we made our way back to mine. We've pretty much resumed our standard activity of cuddling on the sofa. Maybe my earlier worries were unfounded after all. We're both content in just being in each other's presence, regardless of the activity. I am aimlessly flicking through the movie channels on TV. I whip out my phone. Hi. Oh, no. Hi, Code. What's up? Not much. Yuri carries on typing, and she's taking an awful long time to reply. Get the feeling that she's plucking up the courage to ask me something. Well, I was wondering, go on. Would you like to discuss the book with me today? I haven't read much of it, to be honest. I think the movie version is on Netflix, though. Hang on, let me check. What's up? Oh, you know, that book you lent me. I'm checking to see if it's on Netflix. We're gonna have a horror night? Well, I told Yuri I'd let her know my thoughts on the book with her. But I haven't really read enough of it to really discuss it. But if I can find it on Netflix, when I thought we could all watch it together instead. Oh, here it is. Oh. Are you okay with it? Of course. I'd be a terrible friend if I stopped her from coming over. Other people out there having tough times too, so... She shifts her attention to the television. A wan smile on her face. Okay, I figured that if you were here too, you wouldn't feel like I was, I don't know, leaving you out or anything. It's fine, Code. Dear God, that clown looks even ugly on the big screen. I've never liked clowns. Good news, I found it. You can come over, Sayori's here too, by the way. Are you sure that I wouldn't be interrupting anything? Nah, she said she's fine with it, if it's all good. One text later, and Yuri's waiting outside the door, book in hand. Hey Yuri, come on in, Sayori's in the living room. Good afternoon, Code. Thank you for suggesting this, by the way. I haven't seen the movie version yet. Yeah, neither have we. Should be interesting. Hey Yuri. Yuri smiles in greeting. I've heard good things about the film adaptation, so I am hopeful that this will be enjoyable. Only one way to find out. As predicted, Sayori is a massive chicken jumping at every loud noise and suspenseful scene. On the other hand, Yuri seems totally engrossed in the movie, never once looking away during an ominous scene. For the most part, it's difficult to read her face as she remains fairly impassive. Although A look of wonder and interest occasionally flickers across her face, especially when the monster is on screen. It's definitely one of the better horror movies I've watched. Granted, that isn't saying much, as I haven't seen too many. Have to admit, the acting in this film really sells it. Both the clown and the young kids, who serve as the protagonists, are brought to life really well.
Oh no, please don't tell me they're gonna go in that creepy building. Why would you go in there? It's a nightmare waiting to happen.
She ducks behind a cushion, only peering out intermittently. Something she took to doing once the clown was first introduced. I laugh and pull her close. She cuddles into my shoulder, turning her face so she can still see. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Yuri quickly throwing us a glance. From my periphery vision, it's hard to tell, but she looks a little sad. I grimace a little. Clearly I forgot how isolated Yuri feels at home. Watching Sayori and I cuddle up is probably a painful reminder. Especially if Sayori's prediction about how Yuri feels about me is true. An hour or so later, the movie's over. It's been really interesting to hear Yuri's thoughts. Not just on the movie, but on the horror genre on the whole.
And that's something I admire about both the book and the movie. How both approach and present the main theme of fear. A lot of film adaptations of books tend to sensationalize the content, and many horror movies rely on cheap jump scares that elicit a reaction. Of course, there's nothing inherently wrong with a jump scare, but I find the best horror tends to really get under your skin and makes you think. Well, after you've finished.
Yeah, I agree. Jump scares just annoy me, really. They startle you, sure, but the build-up can be tense. From what I've seen, horror movies make it really obvious when one's coming up. The music goes really quiet or really spooky, the character is in a dark place.
Indeed. Sadly, it's quite the common occurrence with modern horror. There's not much left to your imagination.
Can't help but notice that Sayori's been very quiet throughout the discussion Yuri and I are having. You okay, Sayori?
I really don't have much to say. You two carry on, I'm fine.
He's looking absent-mindedly at the screen.
It's unfortunate that the second part of the movie isn't out yet. It's like being able to only read half of the book.
The second part is about how the characters come back to fight the clown when they're adults, right?
Indeed. That's where the plot really shines. Anyway, I have some errands to be getting on with, so I'm going to have to leave. Thank you both, by the way. I really appreciate it. That's okay, Yuri. I hope you're feeling better.
Yuri turns to me.
Oh, did you tell her?
My face grows hot. In my haste to reassure Sayori that nothing was going on between Yuri and I totally forgot that Yuri's confession was likely confidential. Ah, damn. Yeah, I did. Sorry, Yuri. I didn't realize it was private.
It's okay. I suppose it's only fair that there's clarity between two people in a relationship.
I'm glad that Yuri's so understanding.
Anyway, I'll see you two on Monday. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye, Yuri.
As Yuri leaves, I turn to Sayori. She's looking a little rueful.
I hope you're right about therapy, Code. I'm dreading tomorrow.
It's going to be just fine, don't worry.
I hope so. I should probably get going as well. I'll see you tomorrow.
And with a wave, she departs as well. Alright, are we actually gonna get to witness the therapy session, or is it just gonna get skipped? I'm curious, let's see. As my eyes slowly open, I can't help but feel nervous about how today will go. Can only imagine how nervous Sayori is. Okay, this has to be it. We're not skipping it. Such a big step for her too. I just hope it goes well. Hey Sayori, ready to get going?
Yeah.
She's a little quiet and not quite as chipper as she usually is. I mean, she's nervous. What do you want? What do you want from her? The journey to the clinic is a quiet one. Thankfully, it's only a short walk away. While that was interesting, her therapist was incredibly patient and empathetic, never once being insensitive with his questioning. We spent the majority of the session getting a picture of her current life situation, to which Sayori was generally compliant. I think that after she told me about her depression, it might have become a little bit easier to talk about it, given I was the first person she confessed to. She didn't look entirely comfortable, but after a few reassuring smiles from me, she was able to answer his questions. Well, thank God I was there, right? The session passed by relatively quickly, and before we knew it, it was already over. Sayori is quiet as she breaks the silence. What? Isn't that kind of contradictory? Oh well.
I've heard a few horror stories about people who get really insensitive therapists. And I was really scared that he'd be one of them. But he was really patient, so that could have gone a lot worse.
She trails off into silence. I'm really proud of you, Sayori. I know that must have been really hard for you to do. What with how confusing all of this can be. It really does make me happy that you're doing this.
I'm glad to hear that, Code. I really am. By the way, can we spend the rest of the day together? I don't want to go home just yet.
Of course we can. Cuddling up on the couch it is. After swinging by the shops to get some snacks, we find ourselves back in our typical cuddling spot. It's rather quiet between us, a given I suppose after the therapy session. There's a lot to take in for both of us. Tagging along to the session raised so many questions in my mind, though. Now isn't the best time to ask them, though. Hey, Sayori?
Yeah?
Why don't we play something?
We don't have enough people for a board game, though.
Nah, I don't mean board games. Remember when we used to play video games together when we were kids? I've always found video games as a really good way to escape reality. Last year, when I was really lonely, I found it helped me take my mind off things. Plus, there's some games I have that I think you might really enjoy. She sits up.
Sure, that could be fun. What games are you thinking of?
As it turns out, I still have some of those games we used to play. Do you remember Banjo-Kazooie?
Ooh, the one with the bear?
Yep, that's the one. Let's give it a whirl. As I was hoping, gaming has proven to be a wonderful way to get her mind off therapy. She's truly lost in the colorful immersive world, with her face scrunched up in determination. At first, she wasn't very good at the game, struggling with the controls, getting lost, and generally being unsure of what she's meant to do. Although after a few pointers from me, she really started to pick it up, and was soon getting the hang of it. Sarah can be really good at things when she puts her mind to it. It's almost uncanny how skilled she can be, especially as it contrasts against the airheaded vibe she can give off.
Aha! I knew I'd find the jigsaw piece there.
I laugh. She's having a great time, and it's heartwarming to see her so happy. Even if it's over a video game, nothing will ever beat seeing Sayori smiling. You'll never know just how cute you are, Sayori.
Huh?
Just seeing you happy makes me so happy. And I swear that nothing will ever change that.
Aw. Not that I'm complaining or anything, but where did all of this come from?
Truth be told, I'm not really sure. Being with her in the therapy room just now was quite eye-opening for me. Not just because I got to see how therapy works, but because it's really dawning on me that she has depression, and this is something we can't deal with alone. Of course, I believed her when she said she was depressed back in November, but while meeting the therapist and watching him do his job really drove the point home. I'm obviously glad she's seeking help, but it made me think. She's been depressed for a long time, and I've only recently came back into her life. So what was life like for her? Well, we weren't friends, probably awful and super lonely.
Code? Are you there? You're looking kinda sad. What's up?
Her bright smile does nothing for my guilt. I'm sorry, Sayori.
What are you sorry for, silly?
We've only properly begun to hang out not too long ago, right? Since September?
Yeah?
She pauses the game and sets the controller down, sensing the urgency in the situation. And you've been depressed for so many years, but I wasn't there for you. We drifted apart, all because... Because of what? Because I was an idiot. An idiot who prioritized gaming and anime over you. Can't even imagine how hard things were for you when we weren't really talking.
Code, none of that is your fault.
She gently takes my hand in hers. And part of me thinks that, well, had I made more of an effort with you back then, perhaps your...
Us drifting apart didn't cause me to be depressed, Code. Truthfully, I don't really know why I developed depression. There's a lot I don't really know about my condition, but one thing I know is that it doesn't really need a reason. That's what my doctor said the last time I tried therapy. So please, don't you ever think that you somehow contributed to my depression, okay?
And hello, Krilivanov? Kirilivanov? I have no idea if I pronounced your name anywhere close to correctly. But welcome to the stream. Also, an interesting way of saying hello.
You're like the polar opposite. When I'm with you, I'm happy. You make me feel like I'm actually worth something, even though my brain tries really hard to tell me that you're lying.
Yeah, but that's in the present. What about in the past? When there were years where we didn't hang out at all?
I actually had this conversation with Monica once. It's normal for friendships to be like that, I think. You can go a long time without talking to someone, but if you reconnect with them and you can both get along as if nothing ever happened, did anything really change?
I pause upon hearing her words. I guess she does have a point, but I'm finding it hard to internalize. She reaches forward and strokes my face, gently lifting my chin up so we maintain eye contact.
The way I see it, we get along just as well now as we did as kids. Besides, what happened in the past was the past. If anything, the time apart made me appreciate the time I do spend with you even more.
Oh, I'm glad you feel that way, Sayori, I really am. It's just, well, you going to therapy today made me realize the reality of depression, and it made me reflect on how much I've been absent in your life. Oh, now it's getting hard to read. Hang on. I think that says you got it. You got it right? What? Here I am trying to decipher everything. Isn't it hard to type like that? It's gotta be a tedious process. It's just, well, you're going to therapy and realize the reality of depression, and it made me reflect on how much I've been absent in your life. I didn't mean to spring this on you out of the blue like that. Especially when you wanted to take your mind off therapy. It's pretty inconsiderate of me. Alright. Like, but honestly, to get back to that, honestly, I've seen a lot of, what was it called, lead speak, right? And this appears even more tedious than what I usually see. So, can't even imagine how much time it takes to type a full sentence like that. But, at the same time, I'm kind of impressed that you're able to convey a sentence without using any actual proper letters.
It's okay, it really is. I'm just glad that we can talk these things out, you know? You've been really patient with me, so it's the least I can do for you. And I'd much rather we talked about whatever bothers you than you bottling it up.
Yes, but it's... Oh dear God. Got pretty far with, before I had to rethink. Yes, but it's... Oh dear god. I have problems with that final word. Fun, probably. Yes, but it's fun. Is that it? Did I get it right? I mean, yeah, if it's fun for you, then by all means, go ahead and do it. Just a little bit more tedious to read, but... I mean, for the most of it, I can actually get through quite easily. That's just like a couple of problems where I have to focus and think about what it means. But anyway, again, welcome. Again, even though this conversation is a little bit harder than usual, I also have to admit that it is kind of fun to do this stuff. Yeah. Gonna be sitting here decrypting all your messages. Definitely a change of pace. And I have the time to do that right now because chat is not very active other than you. Alright. Can't forget to, while at the same time as deciphering whatever you say, can't forget to also progress the game. Then again, I get the feeling we're getting kind of close to the end. Like this stream or the next one, we're gonna be approaching the end of the game, so... Maybe I don't have to be in so much of a hurry to press on through here. But I want to make progress, okay? So, let's try to make some progress again.
After all, bottles are meant to be shared, right?
Can't help but laugh. That was clever. If you say so.
I do. Seriously, Code, please don't blame yourself for anything, okay? I've been much happier ever since you came back into my life. I wouldn't have been able to go to therapy if you weren't with me. And like you said, well, I agree, it is a big step to take.
There's a faraway look in her eyes as she ponders her next words.
I'd gone so many years thinking that this was something I'd have to bear alone. But I have to admit that it's nice not having to go through this by myself.
She squeezes my hand.
Besides, we can't really change the past, can we?
Yeah, guess you're right.
You really do have such a big heart, you know that? Nothing can ever change with you. Nothing ever changed with you.
And that's never going to change. It's moments like these that really bring about a warm, fuzzy feeling inside of me. I've never felt anything like this before, but it feels so right.
Now, I think we have some jigsaws to collect.
Of course, let's get back to the game, shall we? She reaches for the controller and starts playing once more. Within seconds, we're whisked away into a world of childhood memories. The feel of her warmth in my arms, the sound of her innocent laughter, and the smell of her hair. You're still sniffing her hair. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, honestly. Like, this guy... What is it with the games I'm playing right now and people sniffing each other? Both here and in Genshin Impact, we're running around sniffing everyone. It's stupid. Why? Is there some kind of subliminal messaging? Like, why am I playing games that involve sniffing people? I mean, sure, it's one of many things he points out, but still. In Genshin Impact, it was definitely us actively going around sniffing people to see how they smell and asking them about perfumes. And that was weird. A little voice of guilt remains, but it's now easier to ignore it.
Wow, it's super late already. And tomorrow's a school day as well. No fun.
Tell me about it. Monday mornings are the absolute worst. I'm inclined to agree. Not even Sakurai can save them.
I just want another break.
We just had our Christmas one.
I know. Oh well. Anyway, I should get going.
Leaving so soon? My attempt at pulling puppy dog eyes caused her to laugh and shake her head. Do you... Oh dear god, here we go again. Again, one word or two maybe that are very difficult to read. Do you... This is probably the most difficult stuff for me to read right now out of everything you've written so far. Only, maybe? Yeah, now I'm really having trouble deciphering everything. My best guess so far is, do you own... Do you only... Oh, do you only play as a VTuber? Did I get that right? Do you only or stream as a VTuber? If that's your question, then the answer is yes. That took a moment to decipher. My apologies that took so long. I hope I got it right. But, yeah. This is just your basic... that's cute. Wait, do you qualify as a VTuber? I do. Why do you ask? I most certainly do qualify. Now, technically Now the term VTuber first derived itself from the YouTube community naturally, but even if you stream on Twitch, I think the term still applies. And even if it didn't, I do upload all my stream archives over to YouTube after a while, so at least at that point it would count. At the very least at that point it would count as me being a VTuber. So yeah. I do qualify as one. But I'm, as you might have guessed, I'm an independent VTuber, nowhere near the success of any of those bigger VTubers that go with are part of other companies. And even among independent VTubers, there's a lot out there who are far more impressive than me, and their content is a lot better too. So no big hopes here. My community is rather small, but I still appreciate every single member of the community. Everyone's really nice to each other. So even if there's not a lot going on, the overall atmosphere is really nice in my opinion. So I hope I answered your question. Well, to an acceptable degree. But it's late! I reach towards her and pull her in for an embrace. In a playful attempt to stop her from leaving, I push her back down onto the sofa, wrapping my arms tightly around her body. You've fallen into my grand trap. Now there is no escape. Ah! You've caught me! Whatever can I do? Nothing! My mastermind plan is absolutely foolproof! Is it Sayori proof? Well, I mean, foolproof and Sayori proof would amount to the same, right? What do you... Her lips meet mine and immediately I'm taken away into another world. Man, it's almost scary how powerful this sensation is whenever we kiss. No fair. Are you complaining? If you'd prefer, I could just... Her tone is innocent and playful. Not kiss you again? Hey, I didn't say that! Okay, you win. But there's one thing you didn't prepare for. Oh? And what could that be? I quickly boop her on the nose. Boop,
Ah! Surprise sneaky boobs aren't allowed.
Oh, but surprise sneaky kisses are. I've just... Alright, here we go again. Time to decipher some stuff. Just found out. I'm guessing so far I've just found out. I know the one you said, the word you sent separately is you, but again, this is gonna take me a moment. An interesting challenge popping up in chat here. Damn, I really should have integrated Twitch chat into the actual stream video, so it's easier to view my struggles once it's archived. Just found out. Just found out something as you. That's what I have deciphered so far. That middle section is still giving me a bit of trouble. Hang on. I hope it's not bothering you too much that it takes me a while to decipher your messages. I really hope that's fine. Someone, I think middle as a, someone is in there as someone as popular as you. Is that what it says? Because I am not popular, definitely. I've just found out. Alright, I think I've got most of it now. Just found out about... I'm guessing just found out about VTubers, so... Ah, so close, so close. Trying to get that last little bit in the middle. You know, this later on this is gonna be annoying for everyone to watch because I'm just sitting here thinking. I'm thinking that's an N. Yeah, I think I'm starting to get the general gist of it, but that middle section's still giving me a little bit of trouble, so... what I'm gathering from your message is you've just recently found out about VTubers and you haven't really seen any of the... too much of the popular ones, or... Is that what I'm getting? Or you've only just seen someone of a smaller VTuber channel for the first time right now. That's an N, yeah, kind of figured that much. I hope I got the gist of it. Because I'm gonna be stuck here deciphering everything forever, otherwise. Yeah, I'm just gonna hope that I deciphered it somewhat correctly, even though I didn't quite get everything in the middle section. Just found... Just found out... Yeah, I'm just gonna assume that you haven't... But part of me really wants to struggle through it, but if I do keep struggling through all of it, then I'm not gonna make any more progress on the game. That would be kind of bad as well. But just tell me if I got the rough idea by saying that you've recently found out about VTubers and haven't really had the opportunity to watch a smaller channel like this one. Or anything like that, maybe. I hope that's it and I didn't just completely miss it because I couldn't quite get the middle section. In which case I do apologize.
You had me trapped. It was just self-defense.
So was my boob.
This isn't over, Meanie.
Looking forward to our rematch then. I reach over and check my phone. It's almost midnight. As much as I hate to admit it, we probably should call it a day. Although having said that, an idea just popped into my mind. Okay, Sayori, how about... Just proud of finding someone as popular as you. Well then. Really? Like, honestly, I guess I should say thank you. It's always... So I'm guessing by that proclamation you also think that this that so far the stream hasn't been too bad of a quality. If you, well, then again, just by you sticking around, I can tell that you don't hate the stream at least. But yeah, thank you very much again for coming and for sticking around, and honestly right now being the only one in chat, so providing a lot of the entertainment for this stream. Really appreciate everything. And yeah, I guess finding a small channel that you enjoy is always kind of nice, I guess. But again, thank you very much so far. Really appreciate the company and everything. So, but now we need to make a choice here. So let me think about this for a second. Should we? I would have really liked to be able to save here, but I can't. So I'm gonna say... And here we go again. Thanks for not. Thanks for not, so far, so good. Thanks for not. Believe? I think that says believe. Or... I think the final section is or banning me. Thanks for not... Is it believing? Yeah. Bail. Oh, bail. Bailing on or banning? Is that what I'm getting from this? Well, I couldn't really bail. It's my stream, I have to stay here. But why would I... Why would I ban you if you enjoy if you enjoy... Well, I'm just assuming you enjoy it so far. Otherwise, again, you probably would have left. And to be honest, who would I be if I threw out someone who's having a conversation with me just because they're using a style of text that's a little bit more difficult to read? And I'd be lying if I said trying to decipher it wasn't at least a little bit of fun. It's definitely a little bit more of a distraction going on here. And I honestly don't mind. I honestly don't. Like, if that's how you want to talk, then fine. You're welcome to do that. I've had many private conversations going on in my chat room that weren't really about me. I've even had people chatting in different languages with each other, and honestly, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. As long as everyone in chat is happy, that's fine by me. The only thing in chat I do mind is when bots show up and spam stuff, but we just try to ignore those when they do appear. That's all we can do, really. Giving them any attention would just be what they want. So about this choice, I think we should ask her if she would like to stay the night, right? Seems like the most logical course of action here. And if it's wrong, we can always go back to our previous save point and just skip through all the text to get back here. That's always an option. Though I would have liked it if there was a save option right here as well. I'm gonna ask her if she wants to stay the night. Advancing on here. I hope it's not too early for this. Why don't you stay the night?
Here?
That way we can also make breakfast tomorrow morning before school.
Ooh! I didn't think of that. Where would we sleep, though?
Well, I was thinking I could take the sofa, you could have my bed.
Nuh-uh! There's no way I'm letting that happen. You can sleep with me.
There's an awkward silence for a second, made slightly comical by the fact that Sayori hasn't realized the implication of her words.
Oh! Sorry. I didn't mean it like that. You know what I meant. Anyway, I am just gonna get my stuff from my place, so I'll be back in a second.
Alright. After completing my bedtime preparations, I wearily slide into bed, thinking about the conversations that took place today. There's been a lot to take in, I suppose, ever since Sayori became my girlfriend. There's always been a nagging fear that I'm getting into something that's way beyond me. Going to therapy has helped dispel that worry, though. Today was relatively smooth, and I am hoping that doesn't change. Faintly, I hear the click of the front door, followed by footsteps.
I'm just gonna get changed, then I'll join you.
As Sayori approaches the bed, I can't help but notice how nice her legs look in those shorts. Won't you be cold in those in those panties? Yeah. Won't you be cold in those pajamas?
Nope. I have you to warm me up, remember?
I'm suddenly very grateful that I have the blanket covering my body. Why ever would you be grateful now? Alright. She slides in next to me, pulling the blanket over herself. Slowly she inches to me and positions herself so that the top of her head lies just below my chin. Resting her head on my chest, she looks up at me, moves in for a quick kiss and giggles. At such proximity, I can hear her heartbeat. My hands feel soft and warm against the fabric of her hands feel soft and warm against the fabric of my shirt. She's incredibly warm, but it isn't overbearing in the slightest. On instinct, I wrap my arm around her body, rest my face atop her hair. Good night, Sayori. Plant a kiss on her forehead.
Good night, Code.
Alright, so nothing's happening. Good so far. Everything's good so far. So I don't think we rushed into anything. I think we made the correct choice in asking her to stay. Probably. Suddenly, I'm pulled out of my sleep by what appears to be sobbing. As I slowly fight the grogginess, I am also aware of the slight dampness on my chest. Ah, she's crying again. I hate it when Sayori has a nightmare. The feeling of powerlessness, the sound of her tears, the look of anguish on her face. It always hits hard.
Why can't you hear me? I need you. Come back. Please come back.
Sayori? I gently shake her. Shh, Sayori, it's okay. I'm here. It's okay. I hold her as she carries on whimpering. She clings on me even harder, shaking with fear. I can only imagine what's going on inside her head. I fumble for my phone. The blinding glare tells me that it's 7:01.
Code?
It's me, Sayori. You're just having a nightmare. Don't worry, I've got you. I stroke her hair softly as her crying subsides.
That was horrible.
What happened? She takes deep breaths and composes herself.
Everything was so dark. You, Yuri, Monica, Natsuki, you were all there. But whenever I tried to talk to you, it was like there was an invisible bubble around me. None of you could hear me, but there was this shadowy figure that kept talking to me.
Fresh tears fill in her eyes once more.
It kept saying horrible, horrible things. Taught me that I was useless and that everyone would be so much better off if I wasn't around. That you'd be much happier with Yuri.
Here we go. There was a VTuber who banned me. I'm getting better at this, I feel like. And just as I say that, I'm having troubles again. There was a VTuber who banned me. I need a moment. I hope you accept that, but so far you haven't really minded me taking a moment to read this, I guess. But from the first part of what I got, that there was a VTuber who banned you, I mean, I guess that not everyone is as lenient as I am. Like, personally, I've said it before, I'd say it again, as long as the people in chat are having a good time, I don't really mind. And especially now, you know, even if there were other people in chat who didn't like that kind of stuff, I mean, as long as you're not talking to them, they shouldn't really care either. But especially right now, there's no one who would even mind. So I don't see why I should ban you. There's just no real reason. But I can definitely see why some people would be annoyed by it, I guess. Because of how hard it is to read, but again, not me. Now to get on with this. Second letter is an E, right? Yeah. Trying to get in there a little bit. Before, I think. No, not before. Or maybe, yeah. I'm gonna try working on the second part of the sentence for a moment. Here I am translating. This is definitely not easy. Or there's an or in there, so far so good. Or this text. Or this text type. don't know why. Don't know why I was banned. Don't know why I was banned. All right, I think I'm starting to get there. Before. Again, it's just the middle section. Figured out almost everything else. Or this text type. After or this text type, I have no problems again. Just before that. Vent. Oh, when? Oh, vent, no. Okay, still having problems, but most part of it I've got figured out. So there was a VTuber who banned me. I know. Trying to get riddled here. It's just that middle section. That's okay, alright. Could have figured that out, honestly. Especially because don't know why. Should have seen it from there. Alright, hang on a second. Gotta take a real close look at that one. Skin. Huh. UIT is in there towards the end of it, before the or. Pruit? What? I think I'm getting close. Close, but still problematic. I can see the K, I can see some stuff. That's an F. Fruit. In that case, fruit. Right. So something this something fruit or this text style, don't know why I was banned. I still think that's SK followed by an I, probably. That's an actual I in there. And then... Is that an N? No, N looks slightly different from if I remember it from before. No, that's it. Skin. Wait, what? For some reason, I'm reading skin fruit. What? Am I just being skin fruit or this text? Don't know why I was banned. Hmm. Hmm. Alright, so still that middle word makes no sense to me. But you don't know why you were banned. Something about this text style. And here is where my struggles currently end, because again, for some reason I can only read that middle section as skin fruit. And I don't think that that's what it says. But again, I honestly, why if you don't, it is skin fruit, really. Skin fruit or this text style. Alright, so then let me check again. There was a VTuber who banned me. Then... Does it say venting? It's a VTuber who banned me. Oh. Banned you venting, like, as in... venting frustration, not as in... For some reason I was thinking Among Us right now. Even though I haven't really actively played it. Yeah. So there was a VTuber who banned me venting. Skin fruit or this text style, don't know why I was banned. Well, at least I managed to decipher it, and honestly, as for the reason why you were banned, I honestly wouldn't know either. I mean, probably every person has their own reasons as for why they ban people. Some people consider some things to be bannable, while others think other things are bannable. Honestly, so far I haven't really seen anyone in my chat do anything that I'd consider worthy of banning. Other than, you know, bots, but there's so many of them, even if you ban one, the next one is gonna be a different one anyway, so it wouldn't really matter if you ban them. So I'm not even bothering. And those are really the only individuals I'd even consider to put the ban hammer down upon. So far, no need to worry about that here. At least. But now we've got that settled so far. That took a little bit longer than I was expecting. But I managed to pull through.
And that therapy is pointless and I'm just fighting a losing battle. It's nothing more than false hope, no matter how hard I try to believe otherwise.
She sniffles.
I tried calling out to you, to the girls, to anyone. But it was just me and the voice tormenting me. Telling me that everything I've been trying so hard not to believe. Felt so real, Code. So real. Just when I thought things might have a chance of being okay again. I hate this. Why can't I just be normal? And it's already 7. I'm sorry, Code. I just can't go to school today.
It's okay. I won't go either.
Huh? But what about...
I couldn't care less about that. There's no way in hell that I'm going to leave you alone after what you've just experienced. I can miss the odd day of school, it's fine. She opens her mouth to protest, but upon seeing the steely resolution in my face, she reluctantly obeys. Also, James, hi, welcome back. How's it going? You missed some attempts at decryption of messages in chat here. Because we've got someone who likes to encrypt his messages for me and make me actually work for the messages. As for what you've missed about the game, well, we were hanging out a little bit more with Sayori. Yes, hanging out, I know, haha, very funny. And she's currently staying the night. And we've also had our first therapy session with her. So, in case you were wondering, that's what's going on right now. She's just staying the night, it's already morning, and we've just made resolve to not go to school because she didn't want to. I'll get you some water, be back in a second.
I don't know why I'm like this, Code. Why is it that something as stupid as a little nightmare makes me feel this bad? I was hoping that finally there was a light at the end of the tunnel. But that was just naive of me, wasn't it? It's okay, you don't have to say anything, Code. I know that you might feel like you want to say some magical words to make me feel better, but all you have to do is listen. What really hurt me was that voice telling me that you'd be much better off with Yuri as a girlfriend. I'm trying really hard to believe that I'm a good girlfriend and that I'm worth your time, but...
But, finish that sentence before I try deciphering some more stuff.
Those doubts are always there, in the back of my mind.
There we go. Want to know what skin fruit looks like. Want to know what a skin fruit looks like. Do I want to know? I'm not sure if I want to know. Do you think I want to know? Because I'm really not sure. You're saying that you're not sure if that's one of the things that might have gotten you banned. So I hope it's nothing too bad. If it's nothing too bad, then go ahead. And I hope it's nothing bad, really, like. But if it is, then I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I want to know, honestly. You tell me if I want to know. Because I don't know. I won't know if I want to know until I know, you know. But maybe you know if I want to know before I know if I want to know. So feel free to tell me if I want to know. Okay? I'm eagerly awaiting for your response.
I know you'd never break my trust, but I just wish I could convince my stupid brain to see it the same way. And it's so unfair because I can see how hard you're trying. Please believe me when I say that I really appreciate you, Code. But I'm just so scared that it might all be for nothing.
What do you mean?
Well, what if I never got better? What if I'm always going to be like this? My pieces are all broken. You're trying so hard to put them back together, but what if you can't? What if you can't put them back together because some of them are gone?
I don't have an answer for that.
I hate feeling like this. Feeling like I've lost something. Something that I'll never get back. No matter how good your support or how our therapy goes. I can't remember the last time I wasn't so tired, Code. That's the worst part about depression. The exhaustion that never goes away. An exhaustion that sleep can never fix. The only good thing about sleep is that it's an escape from my mind, at least for a few hours. Well, when I don't have nightmares. And I'm just so tired of it all.
Tears slowly start leaking down her face even more. Her face looks utterly resigned.
I wish that I could just wake up one day and actually have hope.
She faces me with a sad smile, her cheeks glistening with tears.
Actual, genuine hope. A hope that maybe, just maybe, things might be okay. Just when I begin to think that could be true, days like these happen. I hate these days. I hate these days so much. Therapy is already hard enough, and these nightmares make me feel like what little progress I've made has been erased. All of the doubts that I try so hard to keep in check break free, and they're merciless.
I wipe away a few of her tears and gently grasp her hands in mine. We will get through this together, Sayori. Just like I said, I don't care how long it takes or what we have to endure. That's a promise. Hang on, it's a YouTube link. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say if you want to share and you think it's not too bad, then I'll go ahead and check it out. But I won't show it on screen. All right? I think that's a compromise, an acceptable one. But that's only if you want to share that. Because I honestly, I was like reading that word multiple times because I wasn't sure that's actually what it said until you said it was correct. So I'm still not sure if I truly want to know. But part of me thinks maybe I should know to know if that's truly what would have gotten you banned. We will get through this, Sayori. Just like I said, I don't care how long it takes or what we have to endure. That's a promise. But I'm never going to stop until we see this through. She looks away. Why is it that I never feel like I'm actually getting through to her? I have to try and stay positive for both of our sakes, even though seeing her like this is one of the most demoralizing things on the planet. No matter what, you'll never be alone in dealing with this. And if your pieces are broken, we'll create new ones. I can imagine how hard it is for you.
Really, Code? How can you possibly know what it's like to feel how I'm feeling?
And there it is. There's the link. Okay, let me just quickly, just in case I'm muting as well. I'm gonna take a look at it now. Don't you dare rickroll me. I just had a thought. What if it's... It wouldn't be a rickroll, right? You wouldn't do this to me, right? There's no way you would do this to me. I've fallen for multiple in the past. Actually, no. I've fallen for one rickroll on like the second to last stream, I believe I did. And a couple of other really stupid puns. So this better not be another rickroll. But I'll check it out. Let's see. It's a channel. It's a channel link, okay. But I honestly don't know anything about this channel. Let me just quickly enable audio again. Community tab. Oh, community tab. Okay. Fine. Will I regret it? Do I have to go down a bit? Middle class 2012. Please, you're bankrupting us. Show mercy. Skin fruit. Gotta go down a bit probably again. How far down until I get to what you... Fake wasp nests? So many memes. So many memes going on here. Crucify Jesus by yourself? Alright then. Still think I'm not down far enough. Because I still don't get what you're talking. Oh, no. Oh. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I know what you're talking about now. I mean, I don't consider it ban-worthy, but that's something that, ooh, okay. Okay, I just saw that. I think I figured out what you were talking about. And that looked deeply upsetting. I might need to replace my eyes. But if that's what you're worried about, I don't quite know why it would be ban-worthy. So, huh. Had to look for it a bit, but okay, I just saw it. I just saw that. Huh. Who went through the effort of photoshopping that, by the way? That seems like a tedious process for something so disturbing. Again, I'm not sure how sensitive the person you were watching was, because in order to ban you for such an image, they would have had to be extremely insensitive, or no, not insensitive, but extremely sensitive to that sort of stuff, like easily grossed out and just like, okay, not seeing you again. But okay, wow, that's a thing that exists apparently within the internet. Thank you for enlightening me. Exactly, you don't. You don't know what this feels like. The constant numbness, the constant feeling of no matter what I do, this shadow will always be there. I just described it. That's... It's the weird... I just described it, that's the weird thing. I hope I said... Yeah, I think I got it right. You just described it. Well, in that case, I really don't get why that would be ban-worthy. What was the final thing that was on the list as to why you might have been banned? Venting, right? I don't know. Out of everything, that seems like maybe the most likely reason. Because there are a lot of streamers out there who have rules as to what, a lot of streamers have rules in chat so that you are only allowed to talk about the actual stream, and maybe it was someone who had that rule in place and you venting kind of just went against that and that's why you got banned. That's like my best guess. But honestly, there's nothing of that caliber going on here. If you want to vent, go on ahead. Just try not to make it too political, because we try not to talk too much about that stuff here. Maybe a little bit if we want to make fun of it, but that's about it.
Crying myself to sleep, waking up in tears, having to fake everything because you're terrified that people will see the real you.
But I've seen the real you, and
you're still here, and you're still trying to help. I get it, I really do. I know you're trying to help, but it's hard to see your encouragement as anything more than just your empty words. This isn't something you can fix just by saying the right stuff.
She bursts into tears once more.
As much as I wish it was.
I scoop her into a hug. She tries to push me away initially, but I hold firm, holding her chest to my chest. Holding her closer to my chest. That's it. Learn to read. She eventually gives in and sobs unrestrainedly into my chest.
I'm scared, Code.
I whisper softly into her ear as I gently stroke the back of her head. I know, Sayori. I'm scared as well. We both fall silent, with the only sounds permeating the room being the sound of her anguished cries. Sayori? She mumbles into my chest. I'm sorry if I say the wrong things. I just don't know what the right things to say and do are. This whole thing is just totally alien to me. And after you told me that my words are pretty much empty, well, I'm starting to doubt everything. She winces slightly as she bites her lip.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It came out much harsher than I intended. I want to believe what you say, I really do. I know that I shouldn't feel jealous and that I shouldn't compare myself to the other girls. I want to believe all the lovely, reassuring things you say to me, but I can't. I know that what you're saying makes sense. It's just internalizing it is a whole other story. It's not your problem. It's all on me being unable to get over this stupid thing.
Depression isn't just a stupid thing, though.
I know it's much more than that, Code. I just can't help how angry it makes me. I just want to be normal like everyone else. It's like I'm not in control of my own body. The depression is the one that chooses my mood for the day. It chooses how I react to things and what I say. Like the day you made me breakfast.
Is there a... Is there a personal... Hang on a second, let me just quickly try to decipher your text again. Is there a personal... Personally? Maybe? Maybe? Let's see. Someone, if you're late, depends on your definition of late. We've been live for almost 1.5 hours, so depends on your definition. I'm currently trying to decipher some text and chat here. So if I'm being a little bit quiet or saying some random stuff, that's why. Yeah, also that. Dang, don't feel bad about it, like, honestly. I'm glad you showed up anyway. I'm glad you still showed up. Personality, alright. Is there a personality? Here, is there a personality? Is there a personality plate here? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Well, I will always come if I can. Really appreciate that, by the way. And you don't have to stress about it too much, alright? Like, if you're a little bit late, no worries. If you won't be able to make it at all, don't worry about it. After all, by now, I am happy to say that usually I find someone to come around and to chat with. In the beginning, that was kind of rare, but by now it happens a lot more often. So, if you're not able to make it, don't feel too bad about it. It's not like I'm gonna be entirely lonely. Though I'd be lying if I said that. I wouldn't miss you. Also, are you active? Active on the platform, as in do I stream regularly? That I am. I don't have a strict schedule, but I do usually stream rather frequently. Like, right now, this is like the 3rd day in a row I'm streaming, which, to be fair, that doesn't happen too often. Gotta be fair here. Sometimes there's like a 2 or 3 day break where I don't stream, sometimes even 4 days. But any day I don't stream, I just throw my stuff over on YouTube, so there's something going on. I either stream or there's gonna be a YouTube upload. Although those uploads are usually just archives of my streams, so nothing too out of the ordinary. But yeah, that's that. Oh, acting, not active. Define acting. Like, do I actually... Oh, that's why. Do I play a personality? Like, do I... Honestly, I can tell you this. All of my thoughts I'm sharing here, all the stuff I'm talking about, you know, stuff I've experienced, and when I share stuff about how I'm feeling, none of that is acted. I can say that much. I'm gonna be 100% honest in all those departments. So no worries about that. If that is something to worry about, then don't be worried about that. I'm not the kind of person who would go out of their way to just like make up like, oh, and when I was like 10 years old, my father died. Because there are some people who would take that stuff seriously. And I don't know, I don't want to get that image out there so that everyone feels super bad for me. And hi Assassin Ducky, what did you miss? Sayori started going to therapy. And we were with her on her first session, then she stayed the night. And it's currently Monday. And after she stayed the night, she had a very bad nightmare, and she didn't want to go to school. And we decided, you know what, we're not gonna go either. We're gonna make sure you're okay. And that's currently where we're at. Also, I'm doing some decrypting in chat every now and then. So, there you go. That's what's been happening. Like the day you made me breakfast. I really wish that I was appreciative from the start, instead of being irritated that you were in my room so early. That's so unfair. And I keep going on and on about it, and... Don't ever apologize for venting about your depression, Sayori. I know that my words probably don't sound as reassuring and helpful as I want them to be. But one thing that'll never change will be my willingness to listen. You've been battling this alone for so long, so it's only fair that I can be a shoulder to cry on. Problem shared is a problem halved, right? Well, it's obviously not that simple in this case, but it's something. She sniffles and nods slowly. It does help to at least be able to talk about it. That's something then. Having you around, as much as I don't think I deserve your support, it does make a difference. Assassin Ducky, ich spreche kein Deutsch. Ich habe auch nicht behauptet, dass du Deutsch sprichst. Well then. Now that we got that cleared up. Any particular reason why you felt like saying that? Did I accidentally start speaking German without realizing it? Is that what's been going on? Is that why you felt the need to share me? share with me. Blah. Or to tell me. Did I honestly say to share me instead of to tell me or to share it with me? Well, I'm kind of dumb sometimes, I guess. But that doesn't... I don't think that matters too much right now. That makes me happy then.
Really?
Yeah, it might not be a huge help, but it's still some help, surely. She pauses to reflect.
Yeah, I guess so.
She nods and shifts herself so that her head lies on my lap. Once she settles, I start absentmindedly stroking her hair. Das ist so schnell gelesen. Did I read it a bit quickly? I mean, the benefits of knowing a couple of languages, right? Even though, well, I know German and English are like the main languages I can speak flawlessly, pretty much, for the most part. So being able to read it rather quickly, I don't think there's anything strange about that. Demo Nihongo ga yeah. Watashi no Nihongo ga warui desu. Gomennasai. So yeah, not the fastest one in that department. But other than that, it's not really that strange for me to read rather quickly. Wait, did I just skip a text box accidentally? No, I didn't. I read that one. Ich meine, normalerweise dauert es eine Sekunde, bis Leute die Sprache wechseln. I don't really see why that would take too long. Like, as long as you know your languages, then I don't see a problem with shifting in between languages. Ich meine, ganz im Ernst, ich sehe wirklich nicht das Problem. It's just a thing that you get used to over time. Und dann ist es wirklich kein Problem mehr für irgendjemanden. You see where I'm coming from here? Ich hoffe, das ist soweit verständlich. Because if it isn't understandable, then I'm gonna have to keep repeating myself to make sure that it's understandable. No, seriously. That's enough for now, I guess. Alright. My mom told me there would be days like these. Oh, well, back in November after our fight, I was a bit lost. I didn't know who to turn to, so I asked Mom for advice.
What did she say?
She said if you date someone with depression, you'll have good days, like the ones we've had before, and bad days, like today, I guess. Sayori falls silent once more. She looks a little reflective and thankfully doesn't seem to mind that I told Mom about her condition. Why would he even say that?
Does she have depression herself?
Nope, she dated someone who had it in the past. It's kind of spooky how accurate her advice was.
What was it?
She told me about how important it is to be patient and understanding for a start. BRB, I'm a visit minion. Is she live as well? In that case, why didn't I get an alert that she was going live? Twitch, if she was live, you should have told me. Yeah, now it's telling me I didn't get an alert before. Damn it. Should have seen it coming. Like, honestly, who knows? If she's still live by the time I finish, I'm definitely gonna go over and because I'm gonna have to check to see if she's still live. But she, as far as I know, she usually ends around the same time as well. And more deciphering going on. The educational VTuber experience? That's as far as I can read. The educational VTuber experience. Well, if that's educational for you. Me just switching in between languages here. But I don't see myself doing that too often. Maybe at some point later down the line. But I feel like, for one, streaming exclusive, keeping your main language in English is like the best, because it's the most easily accessible language. You see, English is the most widely spoken language worldwide, and in school the first language you usually learn is English, unless you already know English, in which case I think it's French. But yeah, so English streams are just the most easily accessible for everyone, and while I could potentially see myself doing like different streams in different languages, I don't really see myself doing that anytime soon. Who knows? Maybe eventually, like a full-on just German stream or something like that. If people were interested, I could do that. Don't think so, but you know, best to keep that option in the back of my mind. She told me about how important it is to be patient and understanding for a start. Which you have been. I don't know, I still have no idea what I'm doing. And I don't really know if I'm saying or doing the right things. I thought I was, but after you told me that my words are just empty, I'm starting to doubt everything. A lot of regret flashes across her face.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. For what it's worth, you've been a great boyfriend, Code. It's just not fair on you. Your heart has always been in the right place, and you put up with my moods.
Well, that's reassuring to hear at least.
And all I can do in return is snap at you for the smallest of things.
I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Mom did warn me. And being honest with you, it's times like these that make me realize just how serious depression is. But I'm glad I got the wake-up call sooner rather than later. Neither of us really know what we're doing, but at least we have each other, right? It's also our first relationship, so we've really been fighting an uphill battle from the start. I've definitely enjoyed my time with you so far. And you think I'm a good boyfriend, so we could be doing a lot worse.
I don't know. Could we? I feel like our relationship has just been you putting up with me. Do we have a future together?
Her words cut deep, knowing that she has these doubts, especially this early on. What do you think? Honest question.
I don't know.
Do you want us to have a future together?
Yes.
So do I.
But what about when we start our last year in high school? Or when we leave school? What if you go to university and I don't? What if...
Sayori, listen to me. Let's just take our relationship one day at a time, okay? You could probably drive yourself crazy by trying to predict the future. Do I know if we'll be together in a year? Truthfully, I don't. I have no clue what life will be like after school, but there's no point worrying about it now because it doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
She gives a short, humorless laugh.
I'm glad that one of us can think rationally.
Nah, remember how I thought we'd let a spirit loose in the classroom back in October? That was the polar opposite of rational.
I really enjoyed that day. It was nice to dress up in silly costumes and scare each other. A real throwback to our childhood.
It's 2:38 a.m. Hang on. It's 2:38 a.m. I missed this. You missed what? I think I read it correctly, but you missed what? Staying up late? Because that's... I don't know if that's something you should really be missing. Or are you talking about, I don't know, what else could you possibly... If you talk about the time, then definitely you must have missed staying up so late. Is that it? Is that what I'm inferring from that message? Also, again, seeing all the different time zones popping up in my streams. It's always interesting to see what time it is for other people. Definitely a highlight of the year along with Christmas. There's something really satisfying about seeing someone light up when they unwrap a present you've got them. Both of you didn't know each other was streaming? Well, I should have known. I should have known. Because unlike me, Min actually has a schedule. So, actually I talked about it before that I would like to avoid streaming during the days she's also streaming, just so I can come hang out on her stream. And, well, look at me forgetting. After all, I try to rely on just getting the notification. And then Twitch is being a little bit mean. Then again, if I start streaming, naturally, I wouldn't be able to just... It would have been rude to just start streaming, realize she was streaming, and just end the stream there, so I wouldn't have done that. But I can see that she definitely wouldn't have known. Again, especially after I said that I would like to avoid streaming at the same time she's streaming. So, all the fault here lies entirely with me. So let's see what that message is. Late night stream. Let me just see that again. Late night stream. Late night stream watching. Right. Well, it's always nice. Considering that a lot of streamers I hang out with now, well, hang out with is one way of putting it. We hang out in chat. That's basically it. But also stream late at night, so I've gotten into more of a rhythm of late night stream watching. Naturally, that means that I won't be able to attend these streams every time, considering that sometimes I actually have to wake up in the morning. And Fastback, hi! How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. How have you been? Hope you've been well. Something really satisfying about seeing someone light up when they unwrap a present you've got them. I have the photo you gave me in my room, but by the way, it always makes me smile whenever I see it. Even when you're not physically around, you still make me happy. Please don't forget that.
Thank you, Code. I'll do my best.
Also, yeah, to get back to that daily schedule, naturally I won't be able to make it, now, I'd like to check out a lot of your streams too, Assassin Ducky. I don't know why I even say the full name all the time, just saying Ducky is a lot quicker. But Ducky, I really, whenever I can make it to your streams, I usually like to stick around. Can't make it all the time, of course. Sometimes I go to sleep before your streams even start, and in that case I don't even notice. Doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. And yeah, even if you're playing like COD, which again, not really my main interest, I still like to pop in and just hang out. It's better than doing nothing. It's always nice to have something running in the background while you have other stuff to do as well. So yeah. Been good watching Assassination Classroom. Oh, so you've recently watched it and finished it, I guess. Let me tell you, Assassination Classroom, good watching it. Completely agree. Amazing show. Seen it for quite a while ago. Currently trying to get back into not get back into it, but you know, whenever you like reaction videos pop up and you use it as an excuse to partially as an excuse to rewatch it. That's kind of what's been going on with me right now. So, not far into it. All right. In that case, I won't say anything that happens later on, because the last thing I'd like to do is give you some spoilers. I really don't want that to happen. But I can tell you, the show, amazing. Really, really great. The openings as well. Like recently, when I was hanging out on Minstream, she had Bye Bye Yesterday playing in the background, which was like the final opening of Assassination Classroom. And just hearing that gave me a real big throwback to the show. So yeah. If you're having a good time, then naturally I won't have to encourage you. Just don't be that guy. No, I have no intention of being that guy. Why would I have? You should know me. If I ever do talk spoilers, then it's completely by accident. So I'll try to avoid anything in that department. But yeah, I hope you keep enjoying the show. Let me tell you, it's just a lot of humor in it. But when they do actually have focus on the story a bit, like I'm not, again, no spoilers, but they give pretty much all of the characters their focus, so no one's really shoved aside, really. The story is nice and the humor is just great. Recently watched Konosuba. Nice. Quickly before I go too deep into that, I need to decipher another message that popped up here. Don't know why, but you're... Don't know why, but your tongue is... distracting? Why is my tongue distracting? Really? It is? Why would my tongue be distracting? Episode 9 made me die inside. Wait, episode 9 of season 1, isn't that the succubus episode? I think that's the succubus episode. Welcome back to another episode of How Is This Not a Hentai? Yeah. That was an interesting episode, to say the least. Definitely. If you've recently watched it, then I am gonna assume that means you have watched it to completion. Including the OVAs, the 2 OVAs and the movie, by the way. Have you watched those as well, or just like the season 1 and season 2? Because the 2 OVAs and the movie are also really nice. Especially the movie has a lot of plot relevance. If they ever make another season, then you would definitely have needed to watch the movie before jumping into the next one. Unless they try to retell the story of the movie. But I think we're all hoping for another season of Konosuba as well. But yeah, amazing show. Also, if you need more Konosuba content, there's always the option of watching Isekai Quartet. That always works out if you need more Konosuba in your life. And more of other shows as well, I guess. To be fair, Isekai Quartet has actually introduced me to a couple of other shows. Like when I watched Isekai Quartet, I had only seen Overlord and... I mean, I'm strictly talking about the shows featured in Isekai Quartet. I had only seen Overlord and Konosuba. And I've heard of ReZero and I figured it would be interesting to watch it. And after watching season 1 of Isekai Quartet, that's when I got on the ReZero bandwagon. Still didn't watch Yujo Senki, even though that was featured. But after watching season 2 of Isekai Quartet, I've also watched Cautious Hero and Shield Hero, since they were also featured. It's nice to see all the characters again. So yeah, Isekai Quartet serves 2 purposes. For one, you get to spend more time with all those characters you already enjoy, and also see them interact with other characters they normally wouldn't be around. And another thing is it just gives you a chance to get introduced to other great shows. No, it's here we go again. Let me see if I can decipher this. Disproportionate. It's disproportionate to the teeth? It is? Well, my apologies then for being disproportionate. Are you worried about that? Well, I mean, I guess you just gotta try not to focus, not to focus too much on the tongue. Then try to drag your eyes away from it. All right. So, where were we? Where were we? It's been about 2 weeks since that nightmare caused Sayori to have a breakdown, but by this point in our relationship, I've really started to see what Mom warned me about. I didn't realize how bad the bad days would be. We've had a few therapy sessions since, as I was hoping these sessions went smoothly, well, as smoothly as they could go, I guess. Along with her doctor prescribing her antidepressants, the therapist has given Sayori a diary, which she's meant to use by recording her happy and sad thoughts. By recording her sad thoughts, he's working with her to see whether those thoughts are supported by facts, basically trying to challenge her depressive thinking. I'm no expert, but it looks to me like that's the kind of therapy she needs. It's not been as simple as it might seem, but to me, it looks like steady but sure progress is being made. Also, thank you very much for hosting. Thank you very much for hosting, Ducky. Figured out how to host, have you? Nice. Appreciate it very much. To say the least, it's a huge relief. She's also tentatively mentioned that she'd like to start going to these sessions alone, although she isn't quite at that stage yet. Just figured it out. Well, now you know. The host option and the raid option are pretty close to one another, so you're probably gonna figure that one out as well. Now, to be fair, I don't know who you'd like to raid in the future. You probably have some people who you'd like to raid, but you most likely won't be able to raid me, considering I usually stream ahead of you. Meaning that that won't work out quite as nicely. But I'm sure you're gonna find some other nice people who you can raid. For the time being, like, since all the time you spend on my streams and I spend on your streams, you're like the prime target for me to raid currently. Because it also works out when it comes to the time and everything. Just figured out, you and Min. Fair enough. That's basically... yeah. And here we go. More text for me to decipher. Hang on a second, let me just... just seems like... Just seems like Ahegao is... Wait, are we actually going there? Is the default pose for this... Wow. You think my default face is an Ahegao face? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough if that's what you wanted to say. Do I really look like that? Do I really look like I'm making an Ahegao face all the time? I guess, yeah, if the tongue seems disproportionate to you, then I guess it can kind of look like it goes in that direction. Oh god. I don't really see it. I don't really see the similarity that much. But I guess I can understand how one might be led to think that if you're just focusing on the tongue all the time. Well, that's definitely a new piece of information for me. She's also tentatively mentioned... Alright, I already read this text box. She said she'd see how she feels by the time the next one comes about. Still, it's been really interesting to... Sorry about that. Still, it's been really interesting to see what therapy really entails. Definitely an eye-opening experience. On the other hand, I think the other club members girls are starting to get a little more suspicious. There have been a few days where Sayori's depressive moods became a little more apparent in school, and they were concerned for her. Still, Sayori maintained her walls. I felt bad about how in the dark the other girls were, but it isn't my position to say what's going on. Hopefully, Sayori will be comfortable telling them in her own time. Also, given it's now February, I've had to pay a little more attention to school matters, namely the end of semester next month. Sakurai has also been talking to students about their future plans. It's scary to think that next year is my final school year. He wants to see me after the lesson ends, so for what feels like the first time in forever, I've started to think about what I want to do after I leave school. As the bell rings, he calls me over. You have the same look that I had on my face when my homeroom teacher wanted to talk to me about my post-school plans. I appreciate his use of humor in this situation. He's always been efficient at helping me feel at ease, especially in situations where I feel out of my depth. Hang on. Blue Skies, right? Yes. This mod is called Doki Doki Blue Skies. Have you heard of it before, or why are you bringing it up, or are you just guessing from all the list of mods that are out there? But yeah, it's Doki Doki Blue Skies. And yeah, you're probably aware that I'm on Sayori's character route, but I might as well mention I have done the other two character routes already. So Sayori's pretty much the final one. What? Bye? Huh? You're leaving already? Alright, then I guess. Well, bye. Thanks for coming to hang out. Leaving right after asking that question seems like I, for some reason, insulted you by playing this game. But I'm just gonna assume that's not the case and you just have to leave now. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Really appreciated your company. Even if it was a little bit harder to read your messages. Alright. If you don't know what you want to do, I wouldn't worry about it too much. After all, you're just a second year, so you do have another year to figure it out. Having said that, do you have any idea at all? To be honest with you, sir, I haven't really given it much thought at all. The past 5 months have been really, well, they haven't really given me too much time to think about it. Well, let's try this from another angle. Does higher education interest you at all? Going to university? Or would you rather be inclined towards finding a job as soon as you leave school? I paused for a moment to think, trying to recollect what my parents used to tell me when we had this kind of conversation. University sounds good, although I'm not sure what I'd study. He nods approvingly. You'll definitely find it easier to land a job if you have a degree under your belt. That's good to know, then. All I have to do is pick a subject, I guess. I know it can be a little daunting, especially when you aren't sure. My advice would be to go a subject you enjoy and do well in. Far from me to be biased, but you are a rather talented historian. I chuckle. What can you do with a history degree, though? The skills you get from a history degree can transfer to a lot of other fields. A lot of historians that I knew went into journalism, academia, teaching, or even the law. Obviously, I'm not biased in any way, but history is the best subject to study. My science teacher said otherwise, sir, he grumbles to himself. Those haughty scientists, if they could just pry themselves away from their Bunsen burners and glass vials for 5 minutes. Anyway, it's good that you've at least got a vague idea of what you want to do. There's no rush or anything. Just take some time to think about what you'd like to study at university. We can always have another discussion later. Will do, sir. Thank you. With the conversation over, I made my way to the club room for lunch. Hey guys. Natsuki gives me a curt nod, while Sayori gives me a warm smile. The door opens once more, and Yuri walks in. Sayori's already weak smile wavers even further. She doesn't dislike her by any means, but it's clear that the jealousy is still an issue. I sigh inwardly. I have no clue on how to solve that issue, given I don't think Sayori is willing to disclose her depression with Yuri. As I pull out my food, I notice that Monika has barely greeted me. Her face is glued to her laptop, with a tense look on her face. Everything alright, Monika? She finally drags her eyes off the screen and looks at me. It seems like she's only just realized I'm talking to her.
Yeah, sorry. Had to sort out some important emails. How are you?
It's easy to spot from a mile off that her smile is forced. I decide not to push it. Not bad, not bad. Sakurai was just talking to me about what my plans are after high school.
I think it's common practice for all the teachers to ask their students, given we're second years and the end of the semester isn't so far off.
Ha! But that was fun. We don't have to bother with that stuff just yet. Lucky. I still don't really know what I want to do. I told him I wanted to go to university, but I can't really decide what I want to do. Starting to realize that I probably should have given this more thought.
That's a little irresponsible, Code. Your future holds so much weight, and time flies by so quickly.
Her face speeds up a little from embarrassment. She's right, of course, but it seems like her judgment is coming out of nowhere. I look at Sayori, half expecting her to jump to my defense. She doesn't, though. Instead, she idly pokes at a spot at the table. The other girls look curiously at us. They can sense that something's up. I don't want to draw too much attention to Sayori, so I try to deflect their curiosity. How about you, Yuri? Any ideas?
I decided that I want to study Japanese literature at university.
Fitting choice. Yuri smiles to herself.
I suppose it comes as a surprise to no one. I can imagine it would be both an exciting and daunting experience.
University?
Yes, on the one hand, there's the opportunity to meet many like-minded people, all of the same passion. Yet there's so much more independence, especially if you opt for a university far from home. And with that independence comes a lot of responsibility and, I'd imagine, a fair degree of uncertainty.
Who knows what life will be like for all of us when we've left school. My question hangs in the air as the conversation lapses into silence. Monika mutters something under her breath. How about you, Monika? I'd imagine you've got a lot of choice, given how you excelled in pretty much every subject. She finally closes the laptop lid with a sigh.
My parents have been hounding me with the exact same question for months now. I'll probably take over their business.
There's a hint of what sounds like bitterness in her voice. Granted, I know very little about her life, well, at least everything beyond surface level, so it's a little baffling.
We'll have to wait and see.
An awkward silence descends upon the room. Clearly it isn't just me who detected Monika's slightly hostile tone. Luckily, Yuri breaks the silence.
Are you alright, Sayori? You've been rather quiet.
Yeah, that's not like you at all. Even Monika glanced over at Sayori's direction.
Oh, I'm fine. Just kinda tired, that's all. Don't worry about me.
The other girls don't look convinced in the slightest, but they don't have much of a chance to press her as the lunch bell rings. I remember being in their position last semester. And boy do I not envy them. As the end of the school day rolls around, I find myself wandering down the corridor, waiting for Sayori to finish. Along the way, I bump into Monika.
Hey, Code.
She keeps her voice low and quickly looks around before speaking. I can tell what she's going to ask me.
Is Sayori okay?
She'll be fine, just dealing with some stuff, that's all.
Compared to the last time she was acting off in school, you seem a lot less worried.
That was when I knew less about her. She narrows her eyes at me. I Guess what I said must have come across as pretty cryptic.
Okay. Well, let me know if we can help in any way, okay?
We?
The other club members. We are all friends after all, don't forget.
Oh, of course. What a stupid question, Code. It's appreciated. I'll see what Sayori thinks.
Okay then, we'll see you later.
Well, I think Sayori's definitely more convincing than I am. She walks off, and after a couple of moments, Sayori comes out of her class.
Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. Let's go.
Do you know what was up with Monica?
Funny you mention her, because she just asked me what was up with you.
Oh, what did you tell her?
Just that you're dealing with some stuff. Didn't give any specifics. They're worried about you, though. Have you considered telling them?
No, not really.
They are friends, Sayori. They know something is up.
I know.
I can sense that this isn't a topic Sayori wants to discuss any further. Anyway, no, I don't know why Monica seemed so snappy at lunch. She mentioned her parents, so they are probably being a bit overbearing. Must be difficult to maintain that model student image when you're at the top. The only place to go from there is down. Feel like shooting my brother with one of those Koro-sensei BBs. Oh, why? What's going on, Fastback? Is your brother annoying you, or what's up? Or just for the sake of it? But yeah, the Koro-sensei BBs won't... Oh, I guess BBs still hurt when they hit you, depending on the velocity. Are you hoping he has the same kind of reaction to them as Koro-sensei has? Just splattering his body parts? Yeah, no. Let's not go that far. But the reason you're saying this probably means there probably is some sort of reason for it, right? Then again, I guess siblings can be annoying. I wouldn't really know. I wouldn't really know. But I suppose that's what's probably going on. Keeps turning my Xbox off in the middle of my... Oh. Well, that is annoying. That is very annoying, I guess. Huh. I mean, I don't know. Can you just buy a BB gun? You don't. After all, you don't need specifically Koro-sensei BBs. Nah. Nah. Let's not go that far. Then again, maybe you need to go that far. Maybe your brother's the kind of person who won't listen to anything you say, and you have to use a little bit of force. I don't know. Wouldn't kill him, would just hurt like hell. Yeah, I get that. I think I had a BB gun at some point when I was younger. I don't know, it's probably still lying around somewhere. But, I'd have to look for it. I haven't seen that thing in quite a long time, but I do remember having one. And yeah, I do remember those things hurting quite a bit when you get hit. Needless to say, I have shot at myself multiple times. Even after learning that they hurt. Anyway, have an airsoft gun, I guess that works. Well, there you go. Here we go, talking about hurting family members. Only the most wholesome topics on this channel. Juggling academics with sports and other extracurriculars must be really stressful. I don't know how she does it, to be honest. Felt a little sorry for Natsuki though, the conversation kinda excluded her. I know for sure that when I was in first year, post-school plans hadn't even crossed my mind.
Yeah, I thought that too. Well, make sure we include her next time.
Good shout. After dumping our things inside, I pull out my phone. I really should have talked to Mom a while ago, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna make me feel bad about it. Hey Mom.
Ah, Code.
Nice of you to remember you have a mother. I winced slightly, I knew this was coming. I know, I really should have called you earlier. It's not that I didn't want to or anything. Anyways, Sayori's with me right now. Do you want to say hello?
I'd love to.
I press a button on my phone, which transforms the call into a video call.
My goodness, is that really you, Sayori? The last time I saw you, you were barely a teenager.
Sayori laughs shyly. I guess I'm putting her on the spot here a little.
Hi, it's really nice to see you again. And you, dear, I hope Code has been treating you well.
I shoot Sayori a desperate look. This could be a perfect opportunity to enact some revenge for me for all the times I teased her.
Of course. He's been really good to me. That's lovely to hear. Looks like my little prince has truly matured.
They share a laugh as I turn slightly red from embarrassment. Mom, really? Little prince?
I'm sorry, darling. I am just so proud of you.
Well, at least we've established what Sayori's gonna be calling me for the next few days. Keep forgetting that Nagisa is a dude. That is a thing that happens sometimes, yeah. I mean, even the other characters forget sometimes, so don't feel too bad about it. I don't know how far along you are. I don't wanna, again, I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but just quick question. Have they been at the pool yet? Have they been at the pool yet? Just a quick question. Because if so, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then you know why you shouldn't feel too bad. They continue to giggle at my expense.
He's always been like this, hasn't he? Quick to tease others, but once they do it to him, he gets all huffy.
Only second episode. Alright. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, Nagisa is pretty feminine. It's a trap. But you get used to it eventually, trust me. You get used to it. In the beginning, you have to kind of pay attention. I didn't have too many issues with figuring out keeping in mind that he was a boy, because, and now this is maybe just a bit of coincidence, but I'm a huge fan of Danganronpa, and Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls has a character who is also a boy with blue hair, and also has the name Nagisa. So, remembering that, Nagisa from Ultra Despair Girls was a boy with blue hair, and the Nagisa from Assassination Classroom is a boy with blue hair. They both have the same name, so I kind of had the connection going pretty quickly because of that. See pictures of him in skirts, so yeah, definitely a trap. He's a trap. But yeah, again, I didn't have too many issues, because the moment I saw him and heard his name, I just decided to make that connection to remember his name better, and that also helped me keep in mind quite nicely that he is in fact male. Sayori, do not take her side. You're my girlfriend. She's trying, and failing, to keep a straight face.
Okay, no more teasing. Sorry, I just had to get you back for not calling me for so long. How did your December exams go?
I briefly described my results along with Sakurai's comments.
Well, that's reassuring to hear. I was worrying how you'd fare living by yourself, so I'm glad to hear that your academics are going well. Sakurai has a point, though. Your grades in math could be better, young man. Sayori, you're going to have to knock him into shape. He's always been bad with discipline.
I snorted in derision. And you're asking Sayori, of all people, to help me with that?
Hey!
Mom sighs dramatically.
Sorry, Sayori, he can be really mean sometimes, can't he? Must have got that from his father.
There's an awkward silence. Things have been very rocky between Mom and Dad since the divorce.
Oh, by the way, I've got some good news. We've almost finished dealing with this particular client, and I have no one else to deal with for a week. So I'm hoping to come and see you soon.
My heart races. As much as I've loved being able to basically live with Sayori, seeing Mom again after so long would be really nice. That's awesome, Mom. I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask you,
She's cut short by the sound of someone calling her. It sounds pretty urgent.
No, I was hoping I'd have more time to talk to you. Sorry, darling, I'm going to have to go. We'll catch up properly, all three of us, when I come to visit you. Don't forget it's Valentine's Day coming up really soon, and I want to hear all about how you've been treating Sayori like a princess for it.
She laughs softly and waves goodbye.
I forgot how nice your mom is.
Yeah, she's always been such a good parent. She was a lifesaver back in November after our fight.
You're such a mommy's boy.
Hey,
It's a good thing. It's really cute.
I get the feeling you're mocking me, but because I know I can't win this battle, I reluctantly concede.
The Ice Queen wins again.
You're a real clown, you know that?
True, but I'm your clown.
I preferred the one from that horror movie we watched with Yuri.
Such a charmer.
The rest of the day passes by relatively quickly. After finishing our homework, we spent the evening kicking back with some video games. This has been our routine for a while now, Sayori coming over, we finish our homework, and then relax. It's simple but effective. I'm glad that we're both happy just to sit back and relax in each other's company. Then again, Sayori has never been a high-maintenance kind of girl. Watching her now, with her sky blue eyes narrowed in concentration, God, I love her. Is now the right time to say it though? What if she doesn't feel the same way? That'd be a little awkward to say the least. Nah, now isn't the time. Just curious, Sayori. What do you want to do after you finish school? You didn't say anything at lunch.
I don't really know, she sighs. I thought that going into therapy might be a good idea, but... No, forget it. It's a stupid idea.
Huh? It's not stupid at all.
It is. I don't know if I'd even be any good at it. I can't even help myself, so how can I help others?
You're good at keeping the spirits high in the club, at least. People appreciate having you around, and it's definitely more comfortable an atmosphere when you're there.
It's one thing to keep peace in a high school club, but helping people with really big problems as a therapist, you know, the really horrible things that people have to live with, it's a whole other story.
Have you mentioned it to your teacher at least? They might be able to point you in the right direction. She shrugs nonchalantly.
I haven't, no. Truthfully, I haven't thought about the future that much.
Well, at least we're alike in that sense, although our reasoning for it is rather different.
I've got plenty of time though, right?
Yeah, I guess we do. The conversation trails off into silence. I suppose thinking about the future is quite difficult for Sayori, so I make a mental note not to push it. Anyway, it's getting late. Let's call it a night.
Can I be the big spoon tonight?
I'm not sure how that worked, but sure. Sure. It's always nice to be the little spoon, I guess. I feel like that would be more comfortable. Then again, Big Spoon might also be comfortable. I don't know, honestly, which one would be more comfortable. Curse my lack of experience! Can't even give proper feedback. As Sakurai finishes explaining the morning's task and settles down to mark some papers, I find myself absentmindedly fiddling with my pen. Pulling up my textbooks, I flip to the relevant page. Suddenly, I'm aware of a poking sensation on my shoulder. Morning, Amy. Surprised you weren't late today.
Hey, it's not my fault. Track practice ran on for so long today.
I mean, isn't it? Don't you decide how many laps you run?
Schematics code.
I chuckle to myself, if you say so. Anyway, you wouldn't happen to have any good Valentine's ideas, would you? Mom brought it up yesterday. I didn't realize how quickly Valentine's Day has come around this year.
My boyfriend only got out of the hospital a few days ago, so we're just taking things slow. I think he mentioned wanting to take me to a tea house, though.
Hospital? Is he alright?
Yeah, just heart stuff. Anyway, what have you and Sayori got planned?
That's what I was asking you for. Neither of us have really mentioned doing anything for it. I've never done anything for Valentine's before, so I'm totally out of my depth here. Emmy giggles. There's a playful mocking air to her laughter.
She's your girlfriend, Code. Shouldn't you know her the best?
Yeah, but...
Relationships, man, they're confusing. Just ask her. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to be direct. Well, unless she's expecting a surprise from you, that is. Then, while you're on your own there...
Some help you are. What happened to female intuition?
We can't give you all the answers, Code. Sometimes you gotta work things out for yourself.
Yeah, because my trying to figure out what's the best thing to say and do in our relationship is going so well. Life's unfair. After class ends, I make my way to the club room. As I open the door, I realize that it's just Natsuki inside. When was the last time I even spoke to her alone? Hey! Afternoon. Listen, I need your help with something. She looks at me suspiciously. With what? Well, you're a girl, and... Thanks for noticing! Wow, yeah, I wouldn't have noticed. And, well, where would a girl want to be taken for Valentine's Day? And how long have you known Sayori for? Why does this sound so familiar? Is it really a crime for me to ask for some Valentine suggestions? A while, but in my defense, I've only been with her for what, 2 months? I was thinking of like some kind of restaurant, but I don't know which ones are good or not. The door opens and Monica and Yuri walk in.
What are you two talking about?
I glance desperately at Natsuki, hoping she doesn't expose me in front of everyone. Code was asking me where he should take his girlfriend for Valentine's Day? I groan. Jeez, when you put it like that. Just needed some pointers, that's all. The door opens a second time and Sayori wanders in. If it were down to me, I wouldn't even bother. Valentine's stuff is pointless, all that sappy stuff, yuck. People hugging and kissing in public, giving each other sappy cards, no thanks.
It's quite a romantic day, though. People telling their partners how much they mean to them, all the little gifts, the thoughtfulness.
Yeah, it's great if you like that, but keep it away from me. Something else I don't get is that Valentine's Day is supposed to be a day where you show your love for your partner, blah blah blah. But aren't you meant to do that every day? Thought so? So it's safe to say that Cupid didn't shoot you with any arrows this year then, huh? She glares at me as Sayori giggles.
We all know you're a softie at heart, Natsuki.
I am not!
There's nothing wrong with admitting it. Just wait until you get a boyfriend.
As we're digging into our food, Monica taps me on the shoulder.
I think I might have a solution for your crisis.
Oh?
There's a really nice restaurant in town that I went to last year with the debate club. It's called the Amber Beehive, and their food is really good. It's a little on the formal side though, so you probably have to wear something smart. See if Sayori has a dress or something.
Seems kinda sophisticated. Would they take a bunch of teenagers?
Of course they would. Why wouldn't they?
Well, the formal dress code and all, wouldn't we feel really out of place? Sorry, I'm just well, as you can see, new to dating and all that.
It's okay. Don't overthink it though. Just see it as a fancy date. That's all. I'm sure Sayori would like it as well. I think the music will really suit the atmosphere. Pretty jazzy.
Thanks then, I'll look into it tonight.
That's okay, Sayori will be impressed. And don't worry, I won't tell her you got the idea from me.
You're a lifesaver, Monica.
Don't mention it. Oh, and I forgot to say, I'm sorry for snapping at you at lunchtime yesterday. Parents.
That's okay. I imagined you had a lot on your plate. Besides, you've rescued my Valentine, so you've redeemed yourself.
That's good to hear. Oh, and by the way, you can never go wrong with the fried squid.
Duly noted. Maybe I'll be able to salvage this Valentine's Day after all. So, what are our Valentine's plans? Sayori?
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was spacing out. I don't know, to be honest. I haven't really given it much thought.
Oh, I'm glad it isn't just me. I was worrying you'd have expected me to have something planned. What with this being my first relationship and all, I am hardly experienced in that department. She giggles softly at my sheepishness.
Don't worry about it, Code. We can just play it by ear tomorrow.
Winging it, eh? Yeah, that sounds more like me.
Anyway, I've been really lagging behind with homework. I've got a lot to do, so do you mind if we spend this evening together?
Well, this is convenient. Now I can look up bookings for the restaurant without giving away the surprise. Okay, sure. I was just about to say the same thing actually. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Okay. See you later, Code.
She gives me a quick kiss on the head and heads off inside. As I settle into the sofa, I quickly notice that the living room lights are on. There's also some sound coming from the kitchen. That's weird. There's no reason for anything to be making noise in the kitchen, and I always turn the lights off in the living room before I go to school. The mom's back. In an attempt to stop the sudden bout of panic, I force myself to rationalize the situation. Can't be a burglar, because they wouldn't make this much noise. So that must mean... Hello? Anyone here? A familiar voice greets me back.
Code, is that you?
Mom! A huge grin forms on my face as I spot Mom emerging from the kitchen, a warm smile on her face. I rush forward and embrace her. Feels so good to have her back. I didn't know you were coming today.
I want to keep it a surprise, dear.
I let go and she looks over me.
I'm so sorry that you've been alone for so long. I tried so hard to come back earlier, but business was having none of it.
It's okay, I'm just glad you're here now. I sniff the air, something smells delicious. Are you making something?
Yes, teriyaki, one of your favorites.
You're the best, seriously.
Always nice to be reminded. It's almost ready.
I'll give you a hand. She ruffles my hair.
It's okay, sweetheart. My treat for you. There isn't much left to do anyway.
Are you sure?
Positive.
It's only as I'm wolfing my food down do I realize how hungry I am. Mom's cooking has always been incredible too.
Enjoying yourself, I see.
Can you blame me? I haven't met anyone who can cook better than you can. She laughs heartily.
So, let's have that long-awaited catch-up. Tell me about how everything's been since you joined the club.
I finish eating and push my plate away. Sighing contentedly, I pat my stomach. Well, as you know, it all started when I saw Sayori on the sidewalk. Once I start, it's almost impossible to stop. There's so much to say, so much to describe. Now that we aren't limited by short phone calls, I can finally go into detail into what life's been like since September. After describing the first few days, I recall how the festival went. Ducky, alright, BRB, I'll see you in a sec then. She shakes her head as I recall how those inconsiderate pricks acted.
Unbelievable, some people just have absolutely no respect.
No kidding, the worst part was that it caused Natsuki and Monika to have a really bad argument. I quickly go over that, not wanting to dwell on it too much not wanting to dwell too much on the fight. It's still something I'd rather forget. Mom smiles as I recount how my feelings for Sayori started to blossom. Oh, and then there was Halloween. We all dressed up, broke into school, wrote some spooky poems, and summoned a Shinto spirit.
You did what now?
Dressed up?
Not that.
Wrote some spooky poems?
You know what I'm referring to.
Oh, the breaking into school thing? She doesn't look very impressed. Come on, Mom, it was just a bit of harmless fun.
Didn't you say you called a spirit over?
Okay, maybe not entirely harmless then, but for what it's worth, we all had fun. It was a really nice bonding experience. She sighs under her breath.
Teenagers these days get their enjoyment from the weirdest things.
Okay, so maybe playing around with a Ouija board? I never know how to say it. Wasn't the wisest idea. But hey, it'll be a good story for my kids, right?
If you say so, Code.
Anyway, so then when November rolled around, The rest of the evening rolls around. We've both had a lot to talk about, and the time has really flown. She yawns. Well, it definitely sounds like you've had a hectic past few months. Girls, Secret Santas, Shinto ghosts, what a mix. Anyway, I'm still quite tired from my flight, so I'm going to have an early night. I'll be around for a while, so we can carry on tomorrow. Yeah, sure thing. I've got a lot of homework to be getting on with anyway, so that's fine. Good boy. Love you. Love you too, Mom. See you tomorrow. After grabbing a drink from the kitchen, I walk over to my bag and pull out the relevant textbooks. Blah. Let's get this over with. Just as I'm about to begin, I feel my phone buzz.
Evening, Code. Do you have any plans for this evening?
Yeah, sorry, Yuri. Have a lot of homework to be getting on with.
Oh, well, what do you have to do? Perhaps I could help you out.
I pause with my fingers over the screen. Sayori never said that I couldn't hang out with Yuri. I don't think that she's the controlling type. But even though I know I'm not doing anything inherently wrong by spending time with Yuri, can't help but feel like I'd make Sayori's jealousy worse if I did. But then again, I did say that I'd help Yuri out with her loneliness. Although this was before I knew the impact I'd have on Sayori. Nah, it's okay, there's not a lot to do, but I can handle. There's a lot to do, but I can handle it. Thanks, though. There's a pause in her reply.
It's okay, Code. Hope you have a pleasant evening.
Can't help but feel guilty as I put my phone away. I'm sure doesn't think I'm ignoring her. Given her personality, it's definitely possible. Why can't this just be simple and not so complicated? You'd think that for my first relationship, life would be nice and not throw me into the deep end. I mull it over as I finish the rest of my homework. Climb into bed, feeling exhausted. Today was a taxing day, at least physically. From a mental perspective, it's a whole other story. I still wish that I could do much more for Sayori. The uncertainty on how to deal with Yuri isn't helping. Still, it's nice to know that I'm not alone in the house. It'll probably be worth talking to Mom about the whole situation with Sayori tomorrow. Probably should have talked to Mom a little more. She's been in my exact same position before. Oh well, better late than never, right? I wake up the next morning to the sound of activity coming from downstairs. Almost forgot that Mom is an early riser. That's something I definitely didn't inherit from her. I yawn and stretch, checking the time. 10 a.m. Looks like it isn't so early after all. Morning, Mom.
You're up early?
Very funny. I've been up before noon loads of times, actually.
Looks like you really have changed while I've been gone, eh?
Rolling my eyes at her little jab, I noticed the abundance of food on the kitchen table.
So, it's Valentine's Day. What have you got planned with Sayori?
Taking a seat, I opt for the jammed toast. I don't know. Monica mentioned this fancy restaurant in town, so I thought I'd take Sayori there.
Which one?
Amber Beehive, I think it's called.
Amber Beehive.
She said it's jazzy, leans on the formal side too.
Ah, yes, I know it now. Monica has good taste, Sayori will love it.
Good. We could do with a nice day after everything that's happened so far.
Oh, everything okay?
We can talk about it when I get back, if that's okay. Kinda wanna focus on the positives today.
Of course, today will be a good day, don't you worry.
She smiles encouragingly at me. I hope so. Anyway, what are you going to do today?
Well, it's been such a long time since I've been home that I've almost forgotten what free time feels like. This country and its work ethic. Anyway, I figured I could start with some housekeeping. You've let this place get a little dusty and messy, young man.
Sorry, it's never really been my strong suit.
There's also some business things I have to sort out, but thankfully I can do those on my laptop.
Even when you're at home, you can't really catch a break, can you? She smiles ruefully.
Adult life, Code. Now, haven't you got a certain someone to see?
I'm on it. After freshening up and shooting Sayori a text, I make my way over to her house. Hey, Sayori. She's on the bed, sitting up. There's a pen and paper in her hands. It looks like she's writing a poem.
Hey, Code.
What do you want to do today, then?
About that. This must be really disappointing to hear. I'm so sorry.
What is it?
I'm not really in the mood to hang out today. There's just some things that I need to think about, and I don't want to be distracted. It's nothing personal.
I try my best to fight off the sinking feeling of disappointment. Nah, it's cool. Don't worry about it, okay? Just give me a shout if you want to talk, alright? You know where I am.
I know it's Valentine's today, so it's really selfish of me, but
it's fine, really. Not selfish at all. I'd much rather you did what you wanted to do instead of you feeling like you have to come out or anything. We can always hang out another day.
Thank you, Code. You've always been really understanding.
It's the least I can do. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Well, that changes things a bit. I'm a little downhearted. I know Sayori loves romance, and today would have been the perfect day to show her how much she means to me. Granted, the decision has been made. At least I can talk it over with Mom. Mom's sitting at the kitchen table, beavering away at her laptop. She looks surprised.
You're back early?
I slide into the chair opposite to her. Yeah, Sayori doesn't really feel like hanging out today. Said there's some stuff she needs to think about, so I left her to it. I bury my face in my hands. When Mom speaks, her tone is gentle.
It's not easy, is it?
It really isn't. I know you warned me about it, and I thought I was prepared, but I never really know what to do. I like to think that I'm making a positive difference, but I don't know anymore.
What makes you doubt that?
Well, she's kind of snapped at me once when I told her I knew how she felt. She said that I couldn't possibly know what depression feels like, and that my words are just empty. But she also says that it's helpful having me around, and that me just being there, being able to listen, also makes a difference. So I really don't know.
For what it's worth, darling, you're doing your best, and that's all we can ask for. Take today, for example. You wanted to spend the day with her, right? Take her to a nice restaurant? You're looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
But even though she wasn't up for it, you didn't get angry at her or hold it against her. You were understanding and let her do what she wanted to do. That's precisely the kind of patience and understanding I was talking about back in November. She said it herself. She values having you around. And whether you realize it or not, you have made life that much better for her.
Nah, I've made it worse in some ways.
How so?
I forgot to tell you. You know Yuri, right? We went Christmas shopping with each other in December, and I saw her at the park once after Sayori and I had a falling out. We've grown a little closer, and Yuri confided that she's really lonely. I agreed to spend more time with her, and it totally didn't factor in how Sayori would feel about it.
Jealousy, I assume.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. How did I not realize that would happen? I was so inconsiderate.
Not inconsiderate at all, sweetie. Your heart's always in the right place. You just wanted to help a friend in need, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But now I'm in this really weird situation. I want to spend time with Yuri, because I hate the thought of her being lonely, but I don't want to make Sayori feel any worse. Sayori didn't tell me that I couldn't hang out with Yuri or anything. She's not like that at all. I sigh. And I can't tell Yuri about why I can't hang out with her, because I don't want her to find out about Sayori's depression. Girls. Mom laughs softly. She puts a reassuring hand on my shoulder.
Well, let's try looking at this from another angle. She's agreed to try therapy, right? How's that going?
When I was there, it was going well, I guess. Her therapist is really nice, never insensitive with his questioning, and she's working well with him. She's on antidepressants now, and she started going to therapy sessions alone.
That's excellent news, sweetie. That's a really big step to make, so the fact that she's made it is really promising. From my own experience, that independence is really important. You can't always be there for your partner, and at the end of the day, you're the one who has to learn to deal with your depression. When I was dating Shinji, we found that his depression was easier to manage after he had attended a few sessions by himself. He said that she has a really good therapist, so have faith, darling. It's a long, slow process, but it sounds like she's made good progress already.
Sheesh, Mom, you sound like a psychologist yourself.
Well, I did take some psychology modules while I was at university, you know. My experience with depression really opened my eyes to mental health.
Funny you mentioned that, because I was considering going into psychology at university. Sakura was asking me about my future plans.
Well, if it's what you want, if it's what you're interested in, and your grades are good enough, I'd encourage you to code. Especially in a country like this one, which has some pretty unhelpful attitudes when it comes to mental health.
Yeah, seems like a good choice, right? I've still got time, but I figured it'd be helpful to start thinking about my post-school plans now. She nods approvingly.
Yes, that's definitely a smart thing to do. What about the other girls?
Well, I mean, Natsuki doesn't really consider thinking about that right now. She's a little bit... She still has time. After I fill her in, she fits back, looking thoughtful. I can really see where I got my reflective side from.
You'll all have to study really hard next year. That exam that you take at the end of high school is so important in determining which university you get into.
Yeah, so I've heard. Sakura mentioned it too.
But you're a bright boy, so I know you can do it. Of course, with me raising you, you could hardly go wrong, could you?
We share a chuckle. Mom has always been really good at making me feel safe and secure. Let me stretch real quick. There we go. Sorry about that. Kind of just sitting around for a while does kind of require you to stretch every now and then. Thanks, Mom, for everything. I don't know where I'd be without you.
Nothing to thank me for. I'm your mother. It's my job.
Seriously, having you around again has made such a difference. I just wish you could be around more often.
Me too, Code. Me too. Always feel guilty being so far away from home, especially when you were struggling to do Sayori'.
It's not your fault. Life wasn't exactly going to be easy after the divorce, was it? You're doing your best.
That isn't that exactly what I said to you just now? As you inherited my positivity.
Sayori called me a mama's boy, funnily enough.
Well, she isn't wrong now, is she?
I grin. Nope.
Anyways, I was thinking we could go for a walk in town. There's a really nice cafe that one of my work friends recommended. It'll be good to get out of the house. The fresh air will do you good too.
Can we swing by the restaurant Monica recommended? I just want to see what it's like. You know, just in case I want to take Sayori there another day.
Of course we can. White Day is only a month away, so who knows, perhaps you'll spend the day there.
I'd forgotten about White Day.
You typically get a lot of chocolate, so it's one of my favorite days.
So you were berating me for gorging on chocolates when it's you that I got that my sweet tooth from.
I hope you've been eating healthily while I've been away, young man.
Have you ever heard that phrase? What you don't know won't hurt you.
I'll take that as a no then.
Ignorance is bliss, Mom.
You should consider yourself lucky that Sayori doesn't expect you to cook her food, Code.
Funny you mentioned that, actually. Natsuki is really into food, so if I dated her instead, man, she'd grill me. No pun intended. She laughs softly, shaking her head. Well, time to get through another day. After waking up and completing my morning routine, I perch onto the couch, idly flicking through the programs on television. I think Sayori has a therapy session today, though I'm not sure of the time. Probably best to find out what's going on. Hey Sayori, what's up? You've got a session with Dr. Satoshi today, right? Hey, yeah I do, it's in an hour. Ah, alright, want me to come with you? Actually, what I was kinda thinking that I should probably try going to one by myself. Oh really, you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty nervous. But when you came with me before, it gave me the confidence to try and tackle these sessions by myself. The antidepressants have made it easier for me to think a bit clearer too. And I don't want to always rely on you when it comes to these sessions, so yeah, I'll see how this one goes. And welcome back, Ducky. Welcome back. Didn't really miss much, by the way. Mainly just catching up with Mom. And we all know the mom is not very relevant. I mean, she gives some nice advice, but we're all just interested about Sayori right now. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Just let me know if you change your mind, okay? I'm not doing anything today, so it wouldn't be a problem if I had to come to the clinic. Thanks, Code, I'll remember that. I'll let you know how it goes, see ya. Alrighty. Mom's sitting nearby, typing away on her laptop. It's kinda weird. What is? Not spending the day with Sayori. This is her first weekend since we've started dating that we haven't spent with each other. Hang on, why exactly aren't you guys spending today with each other? I thought you two would be glued together. Oh, she has a therapy session today. Remember how I told you yesterday that she has that she was considering going to these sessions alone? So she just texted me to tell me she's gonna do just that. Ah, that's excellent news. It sounds like she's doing really well. The fact that she's going alone is good for your relationship too. It's healthy to do things away from your partner. Is it? God, that really shows how much I know. Yep, it's important to remember that even though you're together, you still have your own lives to live. Play you in the background while I edit videos. Fair enough, fair enough. Hope editing's going nicely. Wish you the best of the greatest success you could possibly have with editing. Hope it's not too much work. I know it probably feels like you want to spend every moment with her, but it's good to have little breaks. Yeah, but I'm bored. I don't know what to do. The joys of free time. Don't you have any homework to be getting on with? Nah, I did it on Friday. Wait, you doing your homework on a Friday evening? That really doesn't sound like you at all. I remember how you always used to leave it for a Sunday evening. Am I really talking to my son? And there I was thinking you'd commend me for doing it so early. What a cruel world I live in. What about your video games? If I recall correctly, they're the reason why you leave your homework for the last minute. That's a good idea, actually. Problem is, I don't know what to play. Mom rolls her eyes. Don't you have a whole library of games? Yeah, and that's the problem. You have so many games you just don't know what to play, that's it. Depends if you count DLC. DLC? Basically short for downloadable content, which... Am I really going to try and explain the nuances of video gaming to my mom? Never mind. Yeah, I'll go see what I can find. After spending a good 5 minutes trying to decide which game to play, I eventually settled for Banjo-Kazooie. I had a lot of fun just watching Sayori play it, so I figured it'd be a good choice. Man, Sayori got pretty far. I forgot how much she enjoys the game. Maybe I could lend it to her, given I don't really play it myself. I have plenty of other titles on my computer to choose from, so it's not like I'd be strapped for choice. Might be worth bringing it up the next time I see her. After some time, Mom comes downstairs calling my name.
You've got a text, Code.
From Sayori?
No, from Yuri. You left your phone in the bathroom.
Oh, so that's where it was. Oops. I take the phone.
Hello, Code.
Oh, right. Text. Don't need to do the voices for text. I always try to get out of them as much as possible, and yet I still manage to forget that I had that excuse.
Hey, hello, Code. Are you up to much today?
Nah, not really. Just having a chill day, to be honest.
I imagine that must be quite relaxing. I was curious.
As a pause, I can tell that she's working the courage to ask me to do something with her.
Well, I found another good book that I think you might enjoy, and I was wondering if you'd like to read it with me. I have a spare copy.
Don't really know how to reply. I just told her that I was free, so I can't really fall back on the classic homework excuse. Can't, sorry.
Why?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Mom came home on Friday and she wants to spend time with me. I feel absolutely awful as I typed that out. Yuri must suspect that something's amiss. I went from encouraging her to open up to me and spending time with me to suddenly rejecting her advances. Like, dude, what's the problem? Just say it's okay. I mean, I get it. I don't know how Sayori would react to it, but she's the one who said she didn't want to spend time with us today. So, and she knows that we're just trying to help Yuri since she's lonely, even though she is kind of jealous. But come on, don't be mean. My only hope is that she doesn't think it's because I don't like her or anything like that.
Ah, okay, well, I'm sorry to bother you then. I hope you have a nice day to have a nice catch up.
Thanks, Yuri. Really sorry again. You just seem to catch me at a bad time. She doesn't reply. I slide my phone back into my pocket and run my face through my hands.
Everything okay?
That's a good question. Stand up, pulling on my coat. I'm gonna go for a walk, need to clear my head, and you're gonna run into Yuri, and that's gonna be extra awkward. Is it what's gonna happen? Are we gonna run into Yuri? Mom looks surprised, but doesn't press it.
Wrap up warm.
After sitting down on a bench, I cast my eyes to the pond. The gentle cyan hue the pond possesses is pleasant to look at, but although it's soothing for my eyes, it does little for my racing mind. Maybe it's worth talking to Sayori about how to deal with Yuri. Causing tension with Sayori is the last thing I want, though, especially as it looks like she's making progress with therapy. Then again, I don't exactly want to lose Yuri as a friend, do I? Be really awkward and unfortunate if any resentment was bred between those two girls. As my musing carries on, I hear a voice call my name.
Code?
My head jerks up and I immediately recognize the owner of that voice. If this is who I hope it isn't, the following conversation is going to be very awkward. It is Yuri. My fears are confirmed as a familiar set of flowing purple locks make their way into my view. Hey Yuri. She looks around.
Are you by yourself?
Yeah, why? As soon as I speak, I realize the error that I've just made. A hint of sadness and doubt flashes on Yuri's face.
I thought that you were with your mother.
Well, I'm screwed.
Code, why are you avoiding me? If you don't want to spend time with me, that's all you had to say. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
No, Yuri, please, it's not like that. I do like you and I do enjoy spending time together. It's just I run an aggravated hand through my hair. It's so frustrating not being able to tell her the truth, especially when she sees this so differently.
Just what, Code? You can tell me if you'd rather I left you alone.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what to say. Yuri presses forward.
Is it me?
No, it's...
You told me that I could come to you if I were feeling lonely. Were you just saying what I wanted to hear?
No, I meant that I still do. It's just... It's complicated, Yuri, and I can't really tell you. That sounded absolutely pathetic. Yuri doesn't look impressed nor convinced.
I'm sorry for bothering you, Code. I truly am. It's probably for the best that I leave you to it then.
As frustration floods through my body, she turns around and to leave. Just what the hell am I even meant to do anymore?
Hey Code, can we talk? Don't worry, you haven't done anything wrong.
Are you sure about that, Sayori? Just finished the therapy session and needed some time to think about it. Wanted to get your thoughts as well, if that's okay. Sure thing. Can we meet at yours? Sounds good, give me 15 minutes to get home. Okay, see you there. I'm praying that she has some positive news. I'm not sure I could stand any more strife today. There's a note on the table from Mom. She's gone out to get some groceries. Well, at least this effort affords Sayori and I some privacy. I hear a knock on the door, I let Sayori in, and we both take a seat. Hey Sayori, how'd your session today go?
It was pretty helpful. The session on the whole have been much more helpful than I thought they could be.
Oh?
Yeah, recently Dr. Satoshi has been helping me put things into perspective. I'm starting to realize that, well, maybe things aren't as bad as they seem. He helped me see the progress that I've made so far.
Like coming to therapy?
That's part of it. Coming to the sessions in the first place was a really big step, something I wouldn't have been able to do last year. For the past few sessions, he's been challenging the depressive thinking I've had. And helping me see the reality of things, that it's okay to ask for help. And thanks to the antidepressants, I'm able to see things a little more clearly. It's not exactly easy, and sometimes I get frustrated at how slow the progress is, but he reminded me that we are making some progress. Slow but steady, he said. And he praised me for having the courage to come to the sessions alone.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you for that. You're doing really well. She smiles tentatively.
And it's something I'm slowly coming to terms with. Obviously, we're not rainbows and butterflies just yet, but I'm not having nightmares as often. And my general mood these days is much better than it was before we started hanging out again.
The powerful feeling of relief coursing through my body feels rewarding beyond belief. Just when I was thinking everything was so bleak, and we weren't getting anywhere.
Anyway, so he suggested that I tell the others about my depression.
Oh, so that's the thing you wanted my input on.
Yeah, but I don't know if I should tell them.
Why not?
Well, I'm kind of worried that it might change how the club feels. I don't want any special treatment or anything, and there's no telling how they might react. On the other hand, having to act ulterior all the time around them is so exhausting.
And if you tell them, you won't have to hide anything anymore.
And that would make life a lot easier, being able to come to school and not worry about accidentally letting the mask slip.
Yeah, I can see I can see that there's a lot to think about and consider. So what it's worth though, I don't think it'll change the atmosphere of the club, to be honest. They're our friends, Sayori. And yeah, they might be a bit unsure of how to react, but I didn't know how to react when you told me, but we're still best friends, right?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that.
I think it'd be a good idea too, but I'm not going to talk you into anything. It's entirely your decision to make, and I respect whatever you pick.
Okay, thanks, Code. I'll think about it tonight and see how I feel tomorrow.
Sounds good. She notices the game console lying on the floor and the controller by the sofa.
Hey, hang on! Were you playing without me?
Guilty as charged, sorry, I was bored. She heads toward the television and powers up the console.
I hope you haven't got too far. That was my save file, meanie.
Play it and find out. The door opens and Mom trails in, carrying a bunch of bags.
My goodness, Sayori. It's been so long. I know we spoke on the phone, but actually seeing you in person is a whole other story. It's really nice to see you too.
They share a hug. Some people might find that weird, but to me it's perfectly normal. Mom always loved having Sayori over when we were kids, so she was almost like a daughter to her.
Code told me that the club that you invited him to, he says your poems are amazing, so you'll have to show me sometime. Well, they're not that good. I bet they're wonderful, Sayori. Anyway, I'll be fixing lunch for us, so please give me a shout if you need anything. Oh, it's okay. You don't need to make me food. Don't be silly, dear. It's my treat. Don't worry.
You objecting to free food? What have you done to the Sayori I know? Sayori opens her mouth to protest, but upon realizing that she can't win this war on two fronts, she closes it and pouts. Very funny. Alright, let's do one more day. Let's do one more day, and then we're gonna call it quits. I think that seems reasonable. Let's see what's up now. After completing my morning routine, I find myself waiting by Sayori's house. As much as I enjoy having Mom back, the only downside of having her around is that Sayori and I weren't able to spend the night together. On the flip side, Mom made me some yummy food to eat, so at least I've got something to look forward to at lunchtime. Sayori closes the door and walks up to me with a smile on her face. Morning, Sayori. Good morning. She gives me a quick peck on the lips. I've been thinking about everything we talked about last night. And? She faces me with a look of determined resolution on her face. I'm going to let the others know. Yeah? They're my friends, just like you are, right? I was thinking about all the happy times we shared as a club, both before and after you joined. The club has always been a place where I felt safe, hanging out during Halloween, having lots of fun, sharing gifts on Christmas, seeing how thoughtful everyone was. It really hit me when I was thinking about it last night. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm with you all the way, Sayori. Let's do it. Lunch couldn't have come by any slower. I idly stare at the clock, marveling at how slowly the hands are moving. Although I can't help but be a little nervous, the situation between Yuri and I remains awkward. I haven't told Sayori about what happened before she texted me. Just hope Yuri will understand when Sayori tells her what's going on. She's always struck me as the understanding type, so I just hope she won't hold anything against me. Finally the bell rings. I'm the first one in the club, not surprising given Sakurai has let us out a bit too early. As I pull out the containers of food from my bag and settle down, Sayori and Natsuki walk in, chatting amongst themselves. Oh hey Sayori, I forgot to tell you, Mom made you some food too. Here. Push a container of pre-made food towards her, causing her eyes to widen. Ah, she didn't have to. You know what my mom is like. Any for me? The sarcasm in Natsuki's voice makes us laugh. You're the chef, Natsuki, do you really need it? She rolls her eyes and mutters something under her breath at my little quip. Yeah, she needs it. She does. Meanwhile, Sayori wastes no time digging into the food. Within seconds, almost half of it has disappeared. Please tell her that this is really good. Swallow, then try again. Sorry. Please tell her that this is really good. She's the best chef I know. Natsuki bristles in her seat, causing Sayori to giggle. Second best, Natsuki. Second best. Better? Monika enters the room, an apologetic look on her face. Sorry I'm late. We're just having lunch, Monika. It's not a club session or anything, you know. Where's Yuri? Oh, I saw her on my way here. She was headed to the bathroom, so she'll probably be here soon. Oh, I have a feeling I know what she's doing. Anyway, guys, I have something I want to tell you. You're pregnant? Sayori goes bright red and I freeze. Monika quickly admonishes Natsuki, but I could have sworn I heard a laugh. Jeez, Natsuki, what do you think I am? Actually, don't answer that. Carry on, Sayori. Actually, I should probably wait until Yuri is here. Something tells me this is important. You could say that. A few more minutes pass as we carry on eating. There's still no sign of Yuri. Kinda weird that Yuri's taking this long, don't you think? Yeah, it is. Should I go and make sure if she's okay? I can't talk today. Not a bad idea. Sayori exits the room. Natsuki and Monika turn to me. So, this big reveal? Can we get a hint? Sorry, my lips are sealed. You're normally quite the joker, so this really must be something serious, huh? It's not really my place to say, that's all. Alright, then keep your secrets. Oh, by the way, how was your Valentine's code? Did you take her to the beehive? Yeah, about that. It's a long story, but no, I didn't. My mom came home that weekend, though, and I got to spend time with her again. Did you take her to the restaurant instead? Yeah, totally. I proposed to her as well. I roll my eyes.
Oh yeah, I remember you said a while ago that you live alone these days, right?
Well, back before I got with Sayori, we had a good catch-up session, told her about what life's been like for the past half a year. Man, it's been almost 6 months already. Time flies. Anyway, to answer your question, I guess Valentine's was pretty good, yeah. Although not for the obvious reasons. Mama's boy. I throw my hands up dramatically. Sayori said the exact same thing. I'm not a mama's boy, right, Monica? Monica is spared from answering as Sayori comes back into the room looking worried.
I couldn't find her in the girls' toilets. That's odd. That's odd. Has she ever missed her lunchtime with us before?
I don't think so. Internally, I'm beginning to worry. I hope that I didn't make Yuri feel unwelcome at the club or anything. Anyway, what did you want to say, Sayori? The suspense is killing me. And you can just tell Yuri when you see her.
Okay. Well, there's no real easy way to put this.
She looks at me and I shoot her a reassuring smile.
It might come as a surprise to you guys, but
she takes a deep breath.
I've been struggling with depression for years.
The effect is instantaneous. From the look of shock on everyone's faces, neither girl was expecting to hear that. Yeah, I mean, you know it's serious when Monica's using a custom sprite that she didn't have in the original game. Custom facial expressions here. Have we seen that face before? I think yes, but it's been forever.
What?
You?
Mm-hmm.
But you always look so, I don't know, cheerful?
It's just the way I learned to deal with it, I guess. I always want others to be happy, so I made that my priority. Sayori, I had no idea.
Yet neither did I. Jeez, this was just so... Out of the blue? Both girls nod. They're clearly trying hard to process what they've just been told. Is this how I looked when Sayori told me all those months ago? That's how I felt when I found out too. Never saw it coming, eh?
I always tried really hard to hide it. I've always struggled to accept other people's help. Having them worry about me used to be something I hated. I'm still not entirely comfortable with it, but thanks to Code's support and the therapy I've been to, it's helped me see that it's okay to talk to people about it. And you guys are my friends, so I figured it was only fair that you knew.
Silence falls upon the room. It's a tad awkward. Geez, I still don't know what to say. I'm glad you're able to talk to us about it, but being honest with you, I don't really know much about mental health. Sayori laughs softly.
It's fine, Natsuki. I know none of us are professionals. The only thing I want is that, well, I don't want the atmosphere of the club to change or anything. I just want things to carry on as usual. No special treatment or anything. I don't know what this club will... I don't think this club will change at all, Sayori. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
I guess that was just an irrational thought then. Well, I'm glad that you feel comfortable here with us, Sayori. That must have been difficult for you to admit, so kudos to you. Yeah, thanks, Monica. And you too, Natsuki.
Wow, I see how it is. Laughter emanates throughout the room.
Oh, you know I mean you too, Code.
She exhales softly.
It felt really good to it felt really good to let that out. Thanks for everything, guys, for understanding, for putting up with me, for
putting up with Code? Hey, lunch bell rings, cutting short our banter. Well, that went pretty well. Well, if we don't account for Yuri. So yeah, we're definitely gonna need at least one more stream to finish this game. Finally, the end of the school day arrives. I wander over to Sayori's classroom. As she walks out of her classroom and greets me, I also spot Yuri. Her eyes are glued to the floor. I nudge Sayori and point to Yuri.
Oh, there she is.
Sayori, wait. But she's already walked up to her. I hasten after her.
Hey, Yuri.
Yuri jumps up. Her hands immediately dart to her left arm.
We couldn't find you at lunch. Is everything alright? Yes, thanks for asking. I had some errands to attend to. Sorry for missing it.
Nothing to apologize for, don't worry. Upon seeing me, the tension in the atmosphere multiplies by tenfold, so Sayori looks inquisitively at us both.
Well, I must be going now, so I'll...
Yuri, we need to talk. And by we, I mean Sayori and I. There's something you need to know.
Oh, so now you want to talk, do you? When it suits you.
Yuri, please, I'm really sorry about Sunday, but this is why I want to talk to you, so we can clear everything up.
What are you guys talking about?
Let's just discuss it somewhere a little quieter, okay? Yuri still looks rather upset, although she gives a curt nod and allows me to lead the way. Thanks, Yuri. I appreciate it. She doesn't say anything, sensing the gravity of the situation. I carry on. Look, there's no easy way of saying this. We mentioned it to Natsuki and Monica at lunch, and they didn't really know how to respond. Glance at Sayori, who gives me a nod. Sayori has depression, Yuri. And it's something she's been struggling with for a while. Unlike the other two girls, Yuri doesn't react strongly. Her face does soften slightly.
I had a shrewd suspicion that was the case, to be honest with you.
What? Really? She exhales and closes her eyes for a few seconds.
Yes, however, for obvious reasons, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't think anyone would be able to guess. Well, I suspected it after I put all the little clues together. The fairy tale poem, the way you acted on the day you presented it, your Halloween poem. My suspicions were further aroused when Code talked to me about the fight he had with you. I've seen people worry about their friends before, but he seemed especially concerned. When you started missing days of school, that's when the pieces all started to fall into place.
She looks away.
Can I ask you a question, Code? One that I need an honest answer to.
Of course you can.
When you told me that I could come to you when I was lonely, did you actually mean it?
I did, yes. And
Wait, hang on, guys. Is it just me or am I missing something here?
Oh, sorry, yeah. I describe what happened over the weekend. Sayori's face goes from surprised to ashamed as I speak. So it wasn't that I was trying to avoid you or anything, Yuri. I do enjoy spending time with you, like I said, and you're a good friend. It's just... I glance at Sayori. I know that no matter how gently I put this, Sayori's going to feel like she stopped me from hanging out with Yuri.
I was really stupid, Yuri. It's not his fault, it's mine.
She sighs.
I was really jealous when I heard you guys spending time with each other. And it was really wrong of me to feel that way. I was really selfish. The last thing I wanted to do was get in the way of the friendship between you two. I'm an awful friend. And I'm so sorry.
A few tears streak down her face and she sniffles. I reach out to hug her, but Yuri beats me to it. It's a touching moment, especially with the gentle, concerned look on Yuri's face. After a couple of moments, they break apart.
Sayori.
Her tone is tender, although I can hear an element of certainty in it.
You are not an awful friend. You're one of the best friends that I've ever had. Please don't feel bad. I can only imagine how difficult depression is to deal with, and I don't blame you in the slightest for feeling the way you did. You have nothing to apologize for. If anything, it should be me. You? Of course not, Yuri. Loneliness is a horrible thing to live with, so I can totally understand why you reach out to Code. Perhaps, but I was rather inconsiderate in how I didn't think about the impact it would have on you, especially as I suspect you had depression.
None of you are in the wrong here, guys. The whole fiasco happened over miscommunication. That's all. I just wanted to clear everything up, Yuri. You've always been a really good friend for the both of us. And I'm sorry that you felt like I was ignoring you. I just couldn't tell you the truth because Sayori wasn't ready to tell you guys about her depression. Wasn't my call to make. Although I can see why you saw it from a totally different perspective. So, everyone okay? We all share a smile, lightening the mood considerably. Good stuff then, guys. Man, we're a really apologetic bunch, aren't we? I think the word sorry was said about, 7 times? Yuri and I laugh softly. Sayori and Yuri laugh softly. Blah. Anyway, I think it's time to go.
Yeah, we'll walk you home, Yuri.
Before Yuri can open her mouth to interject, I chime in. And also, I still want to know which book it was that you wanted to read with me.
No clowns this time, please. Are demons any better? No!
Chicken, come on, let's go. Man, I'm really glad that we sorted out the whole Yuri business. I was worried that might have snowballed into something a lot worse, especially after she didn't show up at lunch.
Did she really make you feel like you couldn't see her, Code?
It's more on me for not communicating with you about it, I guess. Don't worry about it, seriously. It was pretty much a given that we'd have obstacles to overcome as a couple, right? And I'd say that, all things considered, that went pretty well.
Yeah, I guess so. But please just tell me if this problem comes up again, okay? I hate thinking that I'd put you through such a difficult place.
Will do.
By the way, I was thinking that we should do something as a club again. You know, like how we did for Halloween and Christmas. It's been almost 3 months since we did something together.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking that a picnic would be nice. I wanted to do it earlier, but it's been really cold and I don't really think it was the best place for it.
Now that we're almost into March, I have noticed it getting fairly warm, yeah. Run it by the girls tomorrow at lunch? I'm pretty sure they'd say yes.
Yay! Remind me if I forget, okay?
I'll do my best. We hear footsteps coming from the hallway and Mom trails in. Laptop in hand, she smiles at us.
Afternoon, you two. Good day at school?
I grin at Sayori. Yeah, you could say that. We told the other girls about Sayori's depression, and they were really supportive and understanding about it.
That's excellent news, sweetheart. It's always nice when your friends are there for you. Unfortunately, I've got some bad news. We've just got a new client, and they're pushy to say the least. I have to leave tomorrow morning. My pleas fell on deaf ears, sadly.
Oh, really? You've only been here for a few days.
I know, sweetheart, I know. I wish I could stay for a little longer, but sadly it's out of my control. On the bright side, I'll make you guys a lot of food, so hopefully I won't have to hear about how you've been eating chocolate for lunch.
I have chocolate for dinner, thank you very much. Mom rolls her eyes.
Quite the sarcastic comedian.
Quite the sarcastic comedian, isn't he? Choose your side wisely, Sayori.
What?
I chuckle. It's always funny to put Sayori in an awkward situation, even when it's just a joke.
What?
There's probably going to be some nasty karma waiting for me one day, but all things considered, I'll take my chances and enjoy the teasing while I can. The rest of the evening passed by relatively uneventfully. After Sayori and I got on with some homework, we helped Mom pack up for her flight.
Well, it's an early flight tomorrow, so I'm going to head to bed now. Sayori, it was lovely to see you again, and I hope to see you again soon, okay?
She embraces her.
You too. Hopefully it won't be such a long time this time.
Hopefully. Mom turns to me.
I'll wake you up before I leave, don't worry.
Alright, Mom. If you're turning in for the night, I'll walk Sayori home then. She nods. Sayori waves cheerfully at her. As Sayori and I walk towards the front door, I whisper in her ear. As much as it sucks that she's leaving, having her around does mean that we can spend the night together.
But tomorrow she'll be gone.
What's that smile? What's that look she's giving us? What is that look? Sayori, what are you trying to tell me with that look? Those are teasing eyes. Are you trying to tell me something that we're gonna be doing? The unexpected purr in her voice makes me shiver. Anyway, let's get you home. Are we gonna have fun? That's gonna be a nice start to the next stream then, I guess. Because as I've said, this is where I'm ending the stream. Now, naturally, we're gonna see if there's someone to raid. Ducky said he was gonna edit videos, so not sure if you're done and streaming now. But let me just quickly. Don't need to record that anymore. Don't need the sound anymore. I'm just gonna quickly save the game and exit out of it, and then we're gonna have a quick look at who to raid. If Ducky actually has finished editing and is ready to go live, then we're definitely gonna raid there. Otherwise, we're gonna check out Min and see if she's still live. Even though if she is still live, then her stream is probably just about to end. We'll see. We'll see. Let's take a quick look. Alright, alrighty then. There we go. We are going to raid. Let's see. It says no result found, so I'm guessing you aren't live. I'll go live if you want. I mean, you could do that, or I'm just gonna force everyone to stop by Min's stream. Considering her stream is most likely gonna end soon, might not be the best idea, but don't force yourself to go live just so I can raid you. I think I'm just gonna raid Min, I think. That works out for the best. You can go live when you want to go live. Don't try to rely on me all the time. I might stop by once you're live though, if I can make it. Alright, Min. Let's head on over, see what's up. There we go, raid's happening. In just a second. And we're going over, see what he's up to. And I go. So this is where I'm ending the stream. Everyone, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time then. Bye!